Test, test, test.
Test. Test.
Okay, I'm on now. Ready? McFarland Spartan football is on the air. Senior night tonight. Last ball game we'll see here at Lloyd Snyder Stadium. Good evening, Spartan Nation, on this beautiful August 9th, 2015 fall evening under the Friday lights at Lloyd Snyder Stadium. Game time temperature, 49 degrees under clear skies. Hello, and again, my name is Bill the Big K Cather, and I'll be your stat man and game analyst, and I'll be joined shortly by Mr. John, the golden voice of McFarland Athletics Wells, who will do tonight's play-by-play. As our cameras will be focused on the seniors running through the tunnel tonight, I'm going to intro tonight's ball game. The opponent tonight, the Palmyra-Eagle Panthers. 1-6 overall on the season, 0-5 in the Rock Valley South, coached by Mr. Sean Ford. School population, 310. Their leading players are Simon Carpenter, a 6'2", 200-pound junior, 702 yards passing, 291 yards rushing. William Salas, a 6', 187-pound senior, 328 yards rushing. Brady Olson, 6', 3", 202-pound senior, 469 yards receiving. And Mason Roshevsky, 5', 11-inch, 172-pound senior, 254 yards receiving. Their one victory this year came over Milwaukee Bayview back in August, 43-14, a non-conference game. Scoring average for the Panthers, 17 points a game, giving up 30. Averaging 68 yards passing and 117 rushing on the season. Again, this is a crossover game between the two bottom teams in the Rock Valley South and Rock Valley North. For your McFarland Spartans tonight, 0-7 overall, 0-5 in the Rock Valley North, coached by Mr. Paul Ackley. School population, 718, well over twice as many students as attend Palmyra-Eagle. Tonight, they will be led again by Brady B-Dubs Wedvik, quarterback, 6', 2-inch, 155-pound junior. Passed for 519 yards so far this year. Liam Keeley, 5', 8-inch, 165-pound junior, the leading rusher for the Spartans, 200 yards. Ryan Armac McDonald, 5', 11-inch, 180-pound senior, 129 rushing yards. Chase Werwinski, a preseason all-area, all-conference player, 6', 1-inch, 185-pound senior, 267 receiving yards. And Nick Herbst, a 6', 2-inch, 165-pound sophomore, 90 receiving yards. So far this year, your Spartans scoring average only 5 points a game. They've been shut out of 4 of the contest. Their opponents have been averaging almost 30 points a game. Passing average, 75 yards a game. Rushing average, 86 yards. Cather's keys to tonight's game. For Palmyra-Eagle, they need to stay balanced with both their running and passing attack. And number 2, stay focused, because even though you're playing for pride tonight, even though this is your last place game that you're playing off and there are no playoffs in the future, this is still one of their 2 final games to go, especially in the career for the seniors. So stay focused. For McFarland, number 1, they need to reduce turnovers. They've had 15 fumbles and 9 interceptions so far this year. Number 2, they need to reduce the amount of penalties that they have. And number 3, they need to put 3, 4, 5, whatever successful plays together. I know Mr. Wells and myself keep commenting they have one good play and then it kind of falls apart. So be more consistent on offense. As well as I'm going to throw number 4 in there. I'd really like to see Chase Werwinski, Mr. Do Everything, get a little more involved, get the ball in his hands a little bit more. So tonight's big question, can your McFarland Spartans get their first victory of the 2015 season? And my predictions have been right on this year, and I'm going to go on the record right now, this very minute, and I'm going to proclaim McFarland wins, McFarland wins, McFarland wins tonight. So, before I turn it over to the golden voice of McFarland Athletics, John Wells, I'm going to encourage you, grab your favorite beverage and snacks, get comfy on your sofa in your favorite chair with your favorite little blankie maybe, and enjoy tonight's telecast of McFarland Spartan football. So I'm going to turn it over to the golden voice of McFarland Athletics, Mr. John Wells.
Hey, thanks, Bill. And, well, it was one of the most awkward pregame I've seen. The band just kept playing and playing, and nobody did anything. And Palmyra's over on the other side, lined up for the anthem. I don't think nobody knew what was going on. But here's our national anthem.
Please at home, stand, rise, remove your headgear, and pay tribute to the United States of America.
Hey, we had the choir singing.
Excellent.
I'm not sure if the fans on the other side of the field could hear them. Probably wondered, hey, what's going on? The band's out there, and maybe they'll play the national anthem now. But, hey, that was great. That was
excellent, John. A little different touch here on senior night.
So a couple of winless teams in the Rock Valley squaring off tonight. This counts in the standings. Next week's game against Parkview will not. But you wouldn't know Palmyra-Eagle sitting there at 1-6. They brought a fan bus standing down there behind the press box, and all of a sudden all these kids come in and a dance team and everything. And, yeah, they travel well. Again, just 310 kids in the school. At Palmyra-Eagle, 400 fewer than McFarland, but you wouldn't know it by the size of the crowds tonight.
Right.
So, yeah, Bill, you said this is certainly a winnable game, but Palmyra-Eagle with a great group of athletes. And I'm actually a little surprised that, they come in here tonight with a winless record in the Rock Valley South, but some good athletes out there, some you've coached against in basketball. They've got some size.
Yes,
so,
they do have size, John.
We're going to have our work cut out for us. We're going to have to play a good game here.
Yep, to get that first victory.
Spartans are going to kick off to start the game.
Teeing it up. Again, the leading kick returner for them is William Salas. Basically,
so Salas will be number 3.
Yep.
He'll be on the right. Short kick, likely going to go out of bounds, and it does.
Not a good start. Yep.
Well, we talk about penalty markers. There's one on the opening play.
Yep, just to indicate that ball out of bounds. Nick Herbst was not real happy with that. I saw him just kind of shaking his head. Not the field position that you want to allow Palmyra-Eagle to start off with tonight, John.
Well, they're going to make him kick it again.
Well, they are. Interesting. Okay, John, I'll let you make the call.
So who do we have deep
that.
back here? We've got Salas, number 3, 6'1", 187-pound senior. And again, Palmyra-Eagle, they have had some outstanding running backs in the past.
Mr. Beaver, that we said, set NCAA Division III rushing records at the Warhawks, University of Wisconsin Whitewater. Boy, John, what do I want to say? How many years ago was that? 10 to 15?
I lose track.
I want to say 10 to 15 years ago.
Now, Nick Herbst going to tee it up again.
Don't check our memories on a lot of things. Those other things were very good.
Well, another
we
kick.
got identical.
Oh.
Going to pinch it down that sideline again.
Just kick it.
Yeah.
Just kick it.
I used to know a youth soccer coach that I used to help coach with, and he had one key all the way from our kids playing all the way up. His favorite line was, as he coached soccer, just boot it.
Well, Bill,
just boot it.
Bill, here's that novice
You're welcome,
football
Gary.
fan question. If you keep kicking it out of bounds. Do you get a safety on a kickoff? Of course, that's not going to happen.
No, but this is an
we're back to the 30, then the 25, the 20.
That does bring up a very interesting question, John. I wonder if this keeps happening. How far back can you go?
Well, I think, Nick hasn't had many opportunities to kick this year, so he's trying to sneak a few extra ones in here, but certainly not on purpose.
He's 0 for 1 in extra points.
There we go.
There we go. We got to start to the ball game.
Oh, it gets by Salas.
Boy, nice break for the Spartans.
Here comes Salas. Christian Jensen, nice tackle.
Yep, good low tackle.
Little spark in the Spartans there as Salas brings it up. Probably mark it over about the 26-yard line, so that's where the Panthers will put it in play, 1st and 10.
Yep, William Salas, actually their leading rusher this year, 65 carries, 328 yards, about a 5-yard average, and 4 touchdowns so far for William on the year. Also, we're looking at Simon Carpenter, 3.5-yard average. Zach Ostermeyer, 3.6.
Looks like Roszewski is going to play quarterback.
Yep.
Carpenter wide to the right. Long count. Salas met in the backfield, and down he goes. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tyler Johnson on the stop for the Spartans.
Yep. Good start. Like I said, Palmyra-Eagle is going to probably be, so far this season in their 7 games, John, been pretty balanced as far as rushing and passing. Usually Carpenter, he's been completing 58% of his passes.
So Mason Roszewski, your quarterback. Salas, the lone back.
Yeah. It's interesting. That's a switch.
Hard count.
Yeah.
Tyler Johnson anticipating the snap. So that's the 3rd penalty, Bill, against. We got to keep track of that one tonight.
Oh, goodness gracious. You're right.
3rd penalty for 15 yards, but it's early. I mean, we're not even a minute into the game. Let's hope we can right that wrong.
Wasn't last game's, John, we had about a dozen holding penalties?
Yeah, about every other play
it
for
was,
a stretch.
Yeah, it seemed like a holding penalty.
Roszewski, he's going to look for Carpenter. Rolls out. Looking. Incomplete. Thrown there for Brady Olson.
Yep.
Is 11.
Big kid, 6'3", 202-pound junior.
Yeah, Palmyra-Eagle had that outstanding freshman group in basketball.
Yep.
Crushed everybody. And those kids now will be juniors this year, so looking for improvement at the varsity level over in Palmyra. Of course, if you've been to Old World, Wisconsin, you've probably been through Palmyra and Eagle.
Yep.
Center's number 52, Ty Paulson over the ball. He's 5'6" and 205 pounds. Third down.
Kid. Solid.
Salas not going to get the first down. Gets back to the 26-yard line. And a good stand defensively for the Spartans to open this game.
Very promising start, John. There's been very few calls we've had this year. We can say that right out of the chute. So, good start. Now just don't make a mistake on this, and let's get that Spartan Big Mo on offense rolling down the field here and get an early lead here on the Panthers.
Wilson and Werwinski deep for the Spartans.
I said Chase can be a game changer.
Low snap.
Yes, he averages 34 yards a kick.
Going towards the sideline, going to go out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So good field position for the Spartans here.
Yep, right about on his average. That was about a 34-yard boot.
Wouldn't it be nice if for the first time this season we could score first? Wouldn't it be nice if we could score in the first quarter or the first half?
Right. I'm in a singing mood tonight, so I'm going to start this off just taking off on a few words you just had.
You're going to sing the Palmyra
song
tonight.
Wouldn't it be nice if we scored an early touchdown? Da, 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 da. Little Beach Boys here at the start. I got John smiling here in the booth. B-Dubs.
Got a receiver. Oh, Evan also. High hit by Roszewski.
Boom.
In college ball, they call that targeting. Well, that's an interesting call now, too.
Yes.
Of course, it's affected the Badgers a couple times here. And
yes, it has. Boy, did Evan take a shot there. great replay again.
Boy, I don't know. Look at that coach over there for Palmyra. He was right on the call there.
Yep, helping the official make sure that told him the hit was on the pads, not up in the helmet area.
Looks like we're going to be airing the ball out here tonight.
Well, I just like the fact we put B-Dubs a little further back in the backfield. He's not under center anymore. It gives him a little more freedom to throw the ball.
Christian Jensen straight ahead. Gain of 5 will bring up 3rd down and 5.
Christian Jensen so far, about a 3-yard average, 41 rushes, 126 yards, and 1 fumble so far. Okay, B-Dubs, let's get it right here, Spartans. Armack.
Pitch to McDonald. Gets some room.
Whoa,
Gets out over the
run.
first down into Palmyra-Eagle territory. Didn't look like that play was going to materialize, and credit Ryan McDonald. He just waited for that opening, and he's quick. So the Spartans move the sticks,
up.
And they're up to the ball quickly here.
Gonna try and up-tempo this a little bit here.
Warwinski to the right, Alsmo to the left. Also Nick Herbst.
Careful.
Ooh, that was a dangerous one. Simon Carpenter, number 10, on the coverage, looking, boy, split second there. He's in front of that one and down the field.
If we could have had a close-up of the eyes inside his helmet, I think they were wide open thinking, just let me get one more step, and that was a pick 6 going the other way. All right, 2nd down.
2nd and 10 for the Spartans. Jensen got some running room. 1st down inside the 35,
nice
down to the
job.
33. Tackled there by Salas.
Yep.
Boy, Spartans just firing hard off the line. Ross Lewandowski out on the offensive line tonight.
Yep.
Maybe that's the difference. But again, Christian just keeps his head down.
All right. Well, Ross can probably open up a few holes at 6'2", 310, John?
Christian's going to get more yards tonight than all his previous games. That's my prediction. Nice fake. Wedvik coming out receiver. Got his man. And out of bounds goes Chase Werwinski.
12-yard gain. Gotta like it. That was one of my pregame keys, too. I said I'd really like to see the ball be in the hands of Chase a little bit more. Super athlete. He's got the potential there. Hey, maybe that Beach Boys song that I sang, huh?
Ball at the 21.
Gonna come true. I said I've been good on my picks pretty much so far this year.
Jensen not going
stuffed up.
Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped there by number 25, Tony Alice. 6 foot, 225-pound linebacker for the Panthers.
Panthers have some good size for a school of only 308
good
kids.
Good size
John.
and good athletes.
Yes, they do.
Again, in a numbers game like football, it's kind of a tough matchup for them in the Rock Valley.
Yeah, these kids are definitely going both ways. Armack.
McDonald cuts it up. Nice cut. Still going.
It's going.
Yards after contact down to the 15. Nice drive for the Spartans.
Okay.
3rd down and 4, Bill. Need to get down to the 11-yard line. Again, 4-down territory here, no question. Game like this tonight, everything's a 4-down game, really. I mean, you got nothing to lose.
So. I would say so.
No playoffs.
I'm going to say the ball's going to go to Liam Kelly here. Nope. Brady pulled it up. B-Dubs.
Got his receiver.
Throw it out to Evan Alsmo.
It's going to be close. Very close to the 1st down. See where they mark it. Right at the 10. 1st down for the Spartans.
I think he got a very favorable mark on that, John.
Well, let's take a look. Oh, my.
I'm not even going to say favorable mark.
We're talking a 2-yard.
That was a 2-yard difference on that. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, home team, we'll take it.
Wow. I mean, that wasn't even close.
7:10 to go. 1st and 10. McDonald inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, just power football.
Now the bottom line is, Bill, here, you got to punch it in. Twice last week, inside the 10, 1st and goal, don't score.
Fumble-itis. That's been so far this year.
And they're getting some running room off that right side.
Yep, just power football.
No, they're moving Ross now to the left side,
Yep.
and then they go left. McDonald into the end zone for a touchdown
Yep.
from 5 yards out.
Yep.
And for the first time this season, the
We can
Spartans are on the
say-
board first. Nice job. And again, Ross Lewandowski and that offensive line, they're putting Ross basically on whatever side they're going to run the ball.
Yep.
You got a guy 310 pounds. You want to get him out there. This is history-making here, too, is Nick Herbst.
0 for 1 so far
This
this
could be
year.
our first extra point kick, and it is. Good.
Oh, if we get a replay of that, we're going to
Somebody
see
had a
that
hand on
didn't
it.
clear. That almost was right to Mike Friedel, who was standing 3 yards beyond.
Let's see a replay
Let's see if
of
we
that.
can get a.
We got to get you to sing with the school song here.
Oh, I should do that to Garvey right now, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you got to catch up, though. It's
I got to get my
So the first made extra
fight
point of the year.
for our Spartans, valiant fight for our colors, brilliant fight, fight. McFarland High, don't let them buy you. Rah, rah, rah. I got started late, so I got to finish it now. So hail to our Spartans, valiant, hail to our colors, brilliant. Though odds be great or small, we're victors overall. That's also for you, Garv, sitting up in heaven. I always do a little tribute to Badger Bill Garvey. Sitting up there, he's got to be smiling right now at 7-0. But I'm going to go back to the other song that got us there, John. The Beach Boys tonight, be paying a tribute to them. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to score a touchdown before the other team does? Okay, enough of that, huh? We're going to have a little fun here. This is our final telecast
this is great.
tonight, so got to have a little fun. Going to wind up seeing you in a couple of months for boys and girls hoops. So we hope that you don't forget about us once basketball season comes on.
Here's Salas on the return.
Good return. Sal's been averaging about 21 yards on kickoff returns so far this year.
Yeah, he gets it out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's where the Panthers will put it in play, 1st and 10. Spartans on top 7-0 with 6:31 to go. In the first quarter, we must say it is Friday night.
Beautiful night.
October the 9th.
Clear skies, John, about 49 degrees. Just beautiful football weather, whether you're playing or viewing.
So Mason Rashevsky, the quarterback, lone back behind him is Salas. 3 receivers to the left. Option, Salas, running room over the 40. Still going, midfield. Looked like he was going to be stopped. Again, Rashevsky held it as long as he could.
Got outside.
Pitched it back. So nice run by Salas. They'll mark it just this side of midfield. Here's another look at it. Hangs on. Pitches back.
Boy, again, John, our replays, I mean,
Who had a block
he
in
was
the back
well
there,
over the
too.
50-yard line. The spot on that ball, again, is very question. He was out at about the 48-yard line. It's our last telecast.
Yeah,
They can't
that's
fire us now, I guess, John. Huh?
Rashevsky. Salas again. Nice cut.
Oh,
45,
nice.
40, 35. Finally dragged down by Chase Werwinski at the 32. But a gain of 18 for William Salas.
Yep, his 4th carry for 36 yards so far, John. Coming in with a 5-yard average. He's up to a 9-yard average tonight, and he's scored 4 TDs for him. Nice cutback
very
right there.
nice.
Very nice cutback because McFarland that time shut off the outside, but great little cutback run there.
So the Panthers are right back in business here.
Yes, they
Maybe
are.
we're going to see a high-scoring affair here tonight. They have put some points up on the board.
Yeah, like I said,
this year.
Palmyra, yep, they've been averaging 17 points a game as compared to our 5 points a game.
Watch
so.
the right side now. You've got Carpenter and Olson lining up wide right. And that's where Rashevsky is looking. Jensen
in
chasing him
pursuit.
down.
Oh,
wide open
wide.
to Salas. And he's helicoptered down. Still picks up a few extra yards. Gets, well, we're going to say down around the 15-yard
About
line.
17 yards on that.
Primary receivers were covered. Salas ducks under the coverage there.
Boy, John, this is not what we need to do. We need to shut them down right here. We don't want to let them come right back and get in this ball game here because we kind of had Big Mo on our side after that initial drive.
Big crowd on the other side from Palmyra-Eagle.
Yep. Pep Club bus.
And they got some big boys on the bench. There's a tackle there on the right side. I believe 6'7", 307.
Yep.
Rashevsky keeps it inside the 15, stacked up there at the 13. Gain of a couple of yards. Let's see, what number is that big number? 78. Mitchell Maring, 6'7", 307 pounds. That's like Big Ten size lineman.
Yes, it is, John.
That is a big kid. And John Houck, 6'3", 279, a sophomore, lining up at left tackle. So they got a couple of bookend tackles there for the Panthers. So, Rashevsky. Salas to his left. Rashevsky going to keep it. Oh.
Good tackle by Werwinski in there because otherwise Salas might have, or Rashevsky might have found the end zone.
A nice fake down towards the 10. Did not fake our cameramen.
Nope.
Nobody fakes them.
No, best in the business.
Did they order their pizza yet?
I don't know.
They're paid tonight.
They've got work to do.
Of course, we had that vehicle leaking gas out behind the press box. That's our primary concern tonight.
If you hear an explosion and we're off the air, you've been warned. You know what happened to us.
3 receivers to the right. Third down. Rashevsky pitches back to Salas.
Grayson Wilson came up and Salas just bowled him over. Collision at about the 8-yard line.
Gonna be short. Take a look at this one again here. Boom! Boy, and Salas.
Lowered that shoulder. All right, big play, John. Fourth and 2.
And a pair. Big play defensively for the Spartans. 3:15 to go in the first quarter.
Yep.
Mason Rashevsky, the quarterback, number 1.
Fans on their feet, John, trying to encourage the Spartans.
Big play defensively. Gonna throw. Incomplete.
Wow.
Boy.
Nobody was on Carson Paulson. If he got it there, he could have walked into the end zone.
I don't know if he saw the pass.
Yeah. Looked like he wasn't ready for it. And does that sound good to hear down on our 8-yard line? First down, McFarland. However, our student section has yet to pick up what the Wisconsin student section does. When they say first down Wisconsin, then you repeat it. So the student section has yet to follow our public address announcer and saying first down McFarland. So I'll say it for you.
They're running right, Bill. They're running right.
Okay, let's see.
They run left. Brady Wedvick on the keeper.
Good run by Brady. B-dubs, as I
follow,
affectionately call him, BW.
Follow Ross Night Train Lewandowski.
There's a name out of the past. Detroit Lions.
We're going to create
Night
some
Train Lane.
Tonight.
Yep, Night Train Lewandowski.
2nd down and 7. Whoa, pitch back. McDonald
Armack
came down with that. Could have sailed over his head for disaster, but it doesn't.
Good hands. At least he knew the first thing you got to do on that pitch, John, you got to look it into your hands.
It is 3rd down. And we're going to say 3rd down and 3.
We got to keep this drive going, so it's time for me to go back to the Beach Boys. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to score a second one?
Uh-oh, what's going on here?
B for
Whoa, the quarterback's coming off.
No, we got
late substitution. The quarterback starts running off. Then he goes back.
Oh, hurry up. We're pinched tight. Oh, we didn't even know what we were doing. Is there a fumble in there?
That can't happen at this point in the season. I mean, players are coming off like it was a 4th down situation.
This is the kind of thing that's plagued the Spartans this year, and I mentioned it in my pregame comments, reducing the turnovers, the consistent play, John. That's what we've commented on all year. They get a good thing going, and boom, they just can't keep it up.
I just don't understand what happened there.
Yeah.
It was like musical chairs.
Yes, it was.
Nonetheless, 4th down, Palmyra-Eagle, apparently with a defensive stop, so Chase Werwinski back at his own goal line.
See kind of a rugby-style kick here. No, traditional punt, lefty. He goes about 34 yards on his punts.
Gutsy play by Salas.
Yep.
I guess there was a fair catch signal.
Was out on his fingertips on that reception, wouldn't you say?
But nice field position for the Panthers. They'll take over 1st and 10 with 1:04 to go here in the first quarter from Lloyd Schneider Stadium.
Yep.
Andrew's Pizzas have arrived.
All right.
That is a good thing.
And boys,
they can be reheated on his engine block tonight.
From my standpoint, boys, eat it all. I don't need anything extra here. We're trying to cut a little weight here before we head into winter.
We're feeding them in shifts tonight up here. So,
yeah, if a camera seems to be frozen, it's because it's a pizza break time for somebody.
Is it complete? That's
right
Olsen.
on the sideline.
Yes, it is. Oh. Did we have an official overrule another one? Oh, incomplete.
Officials seemed as confused as the Spartans did
no
on a third down
argument
play.
from the Panthers sideline.
No.
The only question the the coach has is why does a guy from across the field make
they have
the call?
to call, and the guy there didn't. You're right.
I believe Arlen Halverson clearly indicated incomplete over there.
A very impartial sideline.
Second down
person, right?
And 10, 57 seconds to go.
Brady Olson, 6'3" end over there, been targeted twice. No completions yet.
Here's Reshevsky, Salas, Tyler Johnson.
Good penetration by Tyler that
Shirt
time.
tackle in the backfield. Salas no gain, so 3rd down and 10 with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Ah, that smell of pizza up here, Bill, yeah. I tell you. I was doing a radio game at Palmyra years ago, and all of a sudden pizza delivery vehicle pulls right up, comes up through the bleachers, delivers pizza to the press box. That's where I thought of the idea tonight, I guess.
The way it should be.
3rd down and 10. Reshevsky. Overthrows his intended receiver. That's number 31, Austin Kwiat.
Yep.
Quiet. Kwiat.
Yep.
A name I'm not familiar with. 4th down and 10. Tell you, in my years of announcing, best place to announce a game from was Wanakee. They had a full spread up there. It was a smorgasbord. They're like, hey, guys, help yourself. And
all we can do is throw out suggestions, John, and wait for somebody to respond.
Someday. Here's the kick. Floater.
Going to let it go,
and bounce.
A good bounce into the end zone.
Not by much, though. Got a nice, look like a Bill Cather chip shot on the green.
Yep, little
in Hawaii.
Backspin on it, yep.
10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Spartans with their first points of the first quarter this season, leading 7-0. Yep. As I said, well, maybe it's going to be a high-scoring game. Now it's kind of settled down a little bit.
Been entertaining, very entertaining for us, as well as I'm sure the Spartan faithful here. We're not used to sitting here with, what do we got, John? 18 ticks left in the first quarter, and to see.
You know, we've got that new camera, that crowd cam.
That's true, that different angle, right?
We have a hard time looking down here.
Yep. B-dubs.
Pitches back. McDonald's got some running room.
Opening.
Down the sidelines, over the 30, 40, pushed out of bounds near midfield. That's going to be about a 30-yard gain. Let's see where they officially mark it. I believe right at midfield.
Share a little stat with you. That was our Mac, Ryan McDonald, 6 rush for 53 yards, John.
Wow.
He's only rushed for 129 the whole season up until tonight. So
well, maybe Ryan's one that equals his.
Good job.
Well, here's something you got to like, Bill. There's 2 seconds to go. Officials are not going to have to move this ball too far at the end of the quarter.
Well, depending on, unless we have another big play, John.
That's
I'm
true.
calling for another big one. Consistency here. And, of course, John, you had to ruin the party. John Wells ruining the party. Here we were at the 50-yard line. I had another big play in mind, but I didn't dare call it because the Golden Voice said, the ball isn't going to move. Well, what did it move, John? 6 inches?
There's the crowd cam.
There we go. I got to like that. Ooh, kind of empty on this.
A sparse crowd. I'll get that shot off there.
Yeah, get that shot off
but
there.
But hey, how about that Palmyra-Eagle crowd, again, coming with a fan bus tonight. Full dance team over there. There's the Crowd students at the top of your picture.
Okay, John.
Far right.
I'm going to make this statement. Shame on you, McFarland people. This is the final home game for, what, about 9 seniors tonight in that? Hey, and again, I editorialized on this last week. I don't care if you've won all the games, you've lost all of them. Get out here, support these kids. I don't care if it's this, cross country, whatever else it is. These kids love, this is only a one-time experience for them. These are 4 very precious years that they have a chance to be out here, especially Friday Night Lights with all the attention it gets is really special. And, boy, I'll tell you, John, we all know, any of us have been involved in athletics, it's not just you come out here and play the game. It's all the off-season hours that you put in on this sport. All the youth, just think of all the time spent through youths and camps and everything else. So, you know what, whatever. Got to get out here and support these kids no matter what the activity.
2nd down and 9 for the Spartans. Wedvik. He's got Evan Alsmo pushed out of bounds at the 45. Will bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Spartans.
His 2nd catch tonight.
Entertaining game so far.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Both teams pretty even.
Well, that's right, John. I mean, they're sitting in last place in their divisions and playing each other for a reason here tonight. So this is good. Good for both teams here.
So 3rd down for the Spartans. Wedvik, the quarterback. Jensen, the lone back. Grayson Wilson in motion. Wedvik looking. Oh, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Evan Alsmo.
Yep, they're just a little bit behind him. Still thought that maybe Evan could have possibly come up with that.
Yeah, 4th down. Looks like we're going to kick it away.
Try and pin him deep.
Maybe,
that's true. We got Werwinski coming off the field, though, John, and he's the kicker. Let's see if. Yep.
Fake.
I am going to call. Don't say it too loud. We got the Palmyra booth just down to our left here, John, and they could relay that info down there. I'm calling for a fake too, John. Are you in?
Tyler Johnson over the ball, our center for punts.
Yep.
Tyler does everything.
Conservative or go for it.
Left footer. Nice kick. Fielded at the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Still going. Out over the 35 near the 37-yard line is
37. So
William Salas. Not that William Salas. The William Salas from Palmyra-Eagle. We have a William Salas here in McFarland.
Yes. And, John, that punt amounted to a 9-yard difference. Punted from the 46. They bring it back to the 37.
That's why you go for it.
Hey.
But
Last
again,
home game in that. You got a little lead in that. Whatever. That's why we're in the booth.
Carpenter and Salas in the backfield now. Here comes Salas. Nice pickup over the 40-yard line to the 43.
His 7th carry for 44 yards.
Tell you what, some of those linemen for Palmyra-Eagle look pretty small. Number 50, Bryce Gerlach, 5'9", 171. Not that small of a kid, but when you're next to that kid that's 6'7", 307,
yes,
you're dwarfed there.
For sure.
And the bigger kids lining up at guard, and then Gerlach over here at the right tackle. So again, backs to the right and left of Rashevsky. This is Salas. Out over the 45 to the 46, tackled there by Nick Jorgensen.
I'm just going to quick share some with you, John. My phone just buzzed. We just got a text in from a viewer at home saying when they saw the crowd view from our side angle in that, just like you said, get it off. Nope. They said, use 2 words, embarrassing, pathetic. Very disappointed that the lack of support shown here, and I guess I'm an editorial. I couldn't agree more. Beautiful night like this. Get out here. There's no excuse for not supporting your kids.
Rashevsky, look out.
Oh,
that was intended, again, for Austin Quiet, number 31.
Yep.
Wow. Gutsy call there, Bill.
Yes, it was, and they had 2 people in the area there, John. So that could have made turned this game even right there.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed over the years is it seems like our fan base is we either know one of the kids or it's our own kid, but there's not a sense of community where the community comes out and just supports it because it is McFarland.
Because it's McFarland. You're absolutely right,
and,
John. Yep.
I'd sure like to see that change.
Yep, so would I.
Nice floating kick, going to be returned by Orwinski. Just comes straight ahead, wisely so, out over the 30.
Yep.
To about the 33, but a penalty marker.
John, while we're going
through this is going to be a block in the back. Let's see what the call is here. Hasn't been a penalty since the first. And an illegal block in the back.
Well, we're quick going through this. I'm going to quick run down our Spartan sponsors: McFarland State Bank, Fastenal, Baker, Tilly, Edward Jones, Joe Muting, Nelson's Bus Service, Farmers Insurance, Mike Chandler Agency, Spurley Farms, Ken's Automotive, Main Moon, Credo Product Development, Huntington Learning Center, State Farm Insurance, Jim Hartman, Halverson Construction, Angelo's McFarland, Washa Construction, Fellow Flowers, Culvers, Dentistry by Design, Quick Trip, Mondas Hair Family Hair Care, Gingerbread Preschool and Daycare, Spartan Bowl, Madison Futsal Academy, Shelton Science, Greenland, Spartan Pizza, and Dan Chin Homes. Thank you once again for making this a very special event.
Here comes McDonald, running room again. Ryan McDonald pushed out over the 35-yard line.
And Evan Alsmo doing a wonderful job of giving him some additional blocking.
Gain of 14 yards, and again, Ryan's having a season high.
Yes, he is.
Tonight.
Seven rushes for 68 yards. He's going to top his whole entire season maybe tonight, John. That would be wonderful.
So 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Pitch back to McDonald, not going to fool anybody. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain. Will bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Spartans.
Yep.
Boy, check out that. Maybe it's just our monitor, but the blaze yellow on the sidelines from our
sideline crew?
Our sideline crew.
Oh, yeah. They want to be noticed. They're definitely noticed over there.
Deer hunters.
Nice
Here's
blocking.
Wedvig. Got Evan Alsmo.
Good toss.
1st down for the Spartans out at the
Good
48.
Good pitch and catch. Yep.
Wrestled down there by Carpenter.
Evan Alsmo, his 3rd reception for the night. He's been targeted 4 times, 3 completions for 25 yards. Nice game for Evan tonight.
This is great. A lot of excitement here.
And a good final home game for Evan Alsmo also.
And final home game for our seniors.
Yep,
Again,
we'll
as they
mention
came
them.
through that line of band members at the beginning, that's something they'll never experience again. Look
Liam
at
Keeley.
Oh, into Panther territory. Dropped at the 40-yard line there by Ben Lovell, number 66.
Liam Keeley's 1st rush of the night, and he's our leading rusher coming into tonight. So his first opportunity, he made the most of it. Good job, Liam. John, again.
Boy, nice run.
When we get closer to halftime, too, I got a little trivia question I'm going to throw out here, and then we'll give you the answer. We'll give you halftime to think about it. I'll give you the answer when we come back for the 2nd half.
So long count by Wedvig. Wilson in motion. Handoff Keeley. Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. There's Carpenter again, also number 25, Tony Allis.
Yep. John, I got to tell you, too, since this is our last broadcast of this year, boy, we got to I'll be thanking a lot of people here for making these productions possible and that. And this is just wonderful. I hope all of you sitting at home have enjoyed these as much as we have doing them.
We've got the easy job.
Yes, we do.
Uh-oh.
Motion.
Somebody
I don't
jump.
believe.
Thought it was the right side of the line kind of jump. So
Think
penalty will move it back to the 46-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 15. 8:16 to go here in the first half. Spartans on top 7-0 over the Palmyra-Eagle Panthers. Again, if you're watching on YouTube at some point, glad to have you with us. Here's Alsmo on the flat. Cuts it upfield. Nice job by Evan Alsmo. He's down near the 35-yard line.
Boy, they're making his last home game a memorable one.
Yeah, we're going to have stats in this game
4 catches for
that will
35
probably
yards.
equal stats for the first 7 games for a lot
Right.
of our kids. Just offensively here, doing some great things. But it's 3rd down now, so 3rd and call it 5. Wedvik rolls out, looking, forced out of the pocket. Going to get a first down. Still going, hangs on to the ball. Good job, Brady.
Yep.
As he's down near the 25-yard line, and that'll be a first down. And again, Bill, you see Brady play the first week, his first season of varsity play, and just as much as he's matured here now, these are decisions now that come with the experience he's gotten this year. So nice job by Brady Wedvik.
Yep, but once he committed to it, he tucked the ball in and protected it.
Keeley inside the 20, corralled down there at the 19. Let's keep this drive going. On the stop for the Panthers, Ben Lovell, number 66, 5'11", 218-pound junior.
Yep.
Both teams with about an equal number of players on their roster.
Right. You know what's kind of happened tonight too, John, and one of my keys to the game was keeping a consistent play. We always seem to have one good play and then something goes wrong the next play. Been a little more consistent tonight. That's why we're ahead 7-0.
Oh, cuts it up, tripped up. Boy, if he gets
31, Austin quit.
If he gets by him, he's got some running room.
Yep.
His head was focused on that goal line. Okay, now we got wholesale substitutions in.
I
Like a
think
whole
we're
different
going.
team.
Yeah, are we going with the power backfield, John? Or are we going to spread it out here?
We just got to go with whatever's going
We're
to get us
packing
a
in.
first
This is going to
down.
be straight power running.
Boy, it's 3rd and 4.
No, good. Turn it outside. Read it. Armac, a spin move.
Going to be close. Going to be very close.
Did a nice little job there spinning at the end that might just possibly, John, have given him the first down.
Nope, they're going to say it's
4th
short.
and 1. Now, I guarantee you we will see the jumbo backfield and straight ahead. Let's find Night Train.
From under center.
Ross.
Hopefully from under
We're going to
center.
run it over. If Lewandowski's in there, we're going over Ross.
And he's
Yep.
not.
Yeah, he is.
Ross
Isn't
is
he
in
the
there.
left?
Yeah, there
Yep.
he is.
We're going to run it left. Oh, and we motioned it.
Oh, boy. Yep, penalty
Yeah.
now. So now you're going from a 4th and
Doggone
1 to a 4th and 6.
Yeah, Christian Jensen just kind of lifted up just a touch.
Definitely going to change your play call.
Yep, we're not going
Maybe
jumbo
not a bad
backfield.
idea to use a timeout here, and we do.
I agree totally.
5:14 to go in the first half. Spartans up 7-0.
John, let me throw out a few thanks here. First off, let's start with our crew here under the direction of Mr. Eric Redding.
Who is gone tonight?
Cable coordinator for McFarland School District and the system here. Does a wonderful job. And again, I want to alert a lot of you watching at home. If you go to YouTube and type in McFarland Cable, you'll have a whole variety of offerings from parades to musicals to drama events to football to basketball, sporting events, and that. There's a whole variety of things you'll find on that website. Excuse me. So again, you go to YouTube and type in McFarland Cable. Also, thanks to our helpers this year on camera and graphics, Andrew Day, Justin Janis, Ryan Denzer, Ben Becks. Just wonderful help we get. Some wonderful camera angles, replays, graphics. Really makes this job a lot easier for us. Also, thank you, John, to our wives, Diane and Cindy, for giving us Friday nights off to do this. And I've got a few other thank yous here to hand out, which I'll do after this play.
Oh, incomplete, and the ball goes over on downs to the Panthers.
Yep, and there we lost that consistency again. Too bad on that penalty, Jen, as they would say. We shot ourselves in the foot on that.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yep, that's too bad. Let me finish up with a few more thank yous here. I really want to give a big shout-out, too, to our band under the direction of Mr. Ben Peterson this year. Really improved. I mean, their performances, I felt, really became more and more entertaining as the season went along in that. So kudos to Mr. Peterson and all the band members this year, too. They deserve a lot of recognition for making this a special experience, as well as thank you to our former athletic director sitting at home comfortably watching all these. Thank you for your support, as well as everybody else out there in our viewing audience.
3 receivers to the right. Rashevsky looking. Oh, Carpenter. Carpenter turns around, and there's the ball. Rashevsky just kind of threw it where he was supposed to throw it.
Yep.
Got a player down. This is a Panther. It looks like it's
Boy,
Rashevsky.
look at this. I don't know if he...
I think he got hit pretty hard.
Pretty big contact at the place that. Let me just read it again. Our McFarland Cable TV 982 is a function of the village of McFarland and is producing high school sports as a result of a community survey and fan interest, indicating viewers like you at home, as well as fans here, desired this type of programming. Cable 982 is not funded through tax dollars, so please let your village officials know by way of an email, a phone call, etc., how much you enjoy these high-quality productions. The positive efforts of our McFarland youth deserves to be recognized in all forms of media, State Journal, Thistle, and Cable 982. So once again, thanks for your support, Cable 982. Back to you, John.
Well, we do have a new quarterback. I believe they'll move Carpenter to quarterback. That is the case, and he's just going to run the ball. Not going to go anywhere. Tackled there by number 73, Charlie Radomski.
Good for Charlie.
Yeah, this could...
according to...
Rashevsky's back in, so...
Yeah. Big stop here,
John. What do we
John.
have here, Bill? Third.
We are 3rd and 11.
Third and
John.
11. And number 52, the center, Ty Paulson, over the ball for the Panthers. Rashevsky back in. Salas the lone back. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Rashevsky cuts it up. Got a little running room. Still going. He'll get out near the 30-yard line, but it's going to be short of the first down.
Yep.
That'll bring up 4th and a yard. And they're going to kick it away.
Yep. Let's see, John. There should be enough time, a little under 4 minutes when we get the ball back here. Let's see if Spartans could do something, put a little consistent drive together and go into halftime by 2 touchdowns rather than just the single digit here, because it kind of begs the question if Palmyra-Eagle scores towards the end of the game. Oftentimes visitors are going for, it's going to be victory or
automatic.
Loss. Yeah, they're going for 2. There's not going to be a...
Who will ever forget that controversial loss to Bigfoot a few years ago on the second time they got to run an extra pointer? I forget what it was. It wasn't a 5-down situation, but it was almost something like that.
Yep. Hey, since we got 4 minutes left here, I'm going to throw this trivia question out right now. Since we won't be with you until after Thanksgiving, I got a little question for you. The trivia question. Which of these activities takes the longest time? Letter A, thawing out a 14-pound turkey. B, cooking a 14-pound turkey. C, watching an NFL doubleheader on Thanksgiving Day. Or D, digesting a turkey dinner. Okay, so the 4 choices. Which of these activities would take the longest time? Thawing out a 14-pound turkey. Letter B, cooking a 14-pound turkey. C, watching an NFL doubleheader on TV Thanksgiving Day. Or D, digesting that turkey dinner. We will give you the answer after halftime into the 3rd quarter.
Well,
and nobody, don't be Googling that or anything else. Let's just give it your first thought and see if you were correct.
They're going to go for it or try to draw the Spartans off sides. Ooh, high
wow,
snap.
Gutsy call.
Look at this. They don't fool Christian Jensen.
Wow.
Gutsy play by the Panthers.
Thank you for the
by
gift.
The Spartans.
Thank you for the gift.
Now you punch it in. You've got 3:34 to go in the first half. Again, the high snap.
Oh, but that didn't matter. Jensen came in.
Nobody hit him.
Nobody touched him. Yep.
Now, Bill, you got to put a couple of good offensive plays together. Yep. You can't hurt yourself on this one.
Again, I said, thanks for the gift.
Try to isolate Werwinski out on the right side. Let's see what happens here.
Wedvig to the air.
Oh,
nobody was even looking, and it looked like Nick Herbst was all alone heading to the end zone.
Nick.
He just kind of pulled his chin strap off and said, wait a second, how could I not have been the target on that, I believe?
Hard to say who was.
Yeah, I don't know who was on that either.
2nd and 10. Clock stopped.
Yep. Got to
only
convert
took 4
on
seconds.
this gift, John. Got to convert on this.
Here we go. Liam Keeley gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe, and stacked up there by the heart of the Palmyra-Eagle defense. Looks like number 36. That is John Triola, 6'4", 172-pound senior. A lot of people.
Boy, we're getting a lot of feedback here. We're getting a lot of text in on our phone booth here. Everybody seems to want to get in on the action. A lot of mixed feelings on this trivia question tonight.
Wedvig.
Oh,
boy.
Whoa.
Intended for McDonald.
Almost
Carson
misplayed.
Paulson.
Yeah.
6'1", 172, went up for that ball. Kind of went right through his hands.
And almost pulled in by Armac, Ryan McDonald.
Bill, 4th down. Ball at the 29-yard line, 2:51. You don't want to just give it right back to the Panthers.
No.
Want to keep calling them the Eagles.
I think we're going to look for somebody. You want to know what I would like to see here? A screen pass. Let them pour through and dump it over the top. And
got a receiver, Nick Herbst. Nick Herbst!
There
touchdown!
we go.
Hey, Nick Herbst. 29-yard touchdown pass. Brady Wedvig to Nick Herbst. How about that one? So 2:46 to go in the half. Spartans go up 13-0.
That's what the doctor ordered.
First career touchdown, I believe, for Nick.
Yep.
Look at
Sophomore.
that. Nick, nice catch.
Yes, it was. Looked at his hands. Those are the tough ones, John, because you're so open and you're just going, please, ball, get to me quick. So had to look that one in. Nice job by Nick Zirk. Nice soft throw by Brady.
Yeah, I love it.
Just laid it up there and let Nick run under it.
Ooh, high
Can he be
snap.
2 for 2?
Nick got over.
He is again.
14-0. 2:46 to go in the first half.
Guess maybe not the foot that his brother had.
Well,
But
it's only a sophomore.
Yeah, only a sophomore. That's right. So 14-0. I just want to go back to my trivia question here. We had several comments coming in. We've got people already texting in with answers. We got people texting in. I got one text here that said, what kind of trivia question is that? Well, hey, we incorporated football into it, didn't we, John?
Yeah.
Right? We had, and we won't be back on the air until basketball season, and that will be post-Thanksgiving. So, hey, you know what? Live with it and see if you can come up with the right answer.
There is a huge gap between the end of regular season football and the start of basketball. And
well, because the playoff system now has become extended.
Did you know, another trivia question,
whoa, okay,
back
John.
in the 40s and 50s, when the regular season of boys basketball, of course it was just boys sports back then, ended, and before the spring season started, which seemed like we had snow around longer, which was in early April, many small schools played boys volleyball in the 40s and 50s, and then I believe in the early 60s, boys volleyball switched over to, I think it was a fall sport. But, schools like Judah and Albany, Monticello, they had that mid-season sport. So kid could play 4 sports in the regular season. Oh, look at this. Live ball. Number 20 covers it. That's Dan Jones.
Smart decision for him just to go fall on it.
Nick Herbst, we've seen just about every type of kickoff tonight from
yes,
Nick.
we have from Nick.
Now we'll watch Palmyra. I'm going to say they're going to try to open it up. Here's that. Look at this one again.
Boy, that's just such great coverage that we have here. I mean, our staff here just does a wonderful job with everything, making
Nice.
our job so much easier.
Nice clear picture. Again, good to hear from people.
This is 982. This is HD. McFarland
That's right.
HD TV 982.
Rashevsky. Looking. He's got Carpenter.
About a 9-yard
Carpenter
gain.
out near midfield. Going to be just short of the first down. Yeah, 9 is right. Clock moving. 2:30 to go in the first half. Palmyra-Eagle would like nothing more than getting on the board here.
Yep.
Of course, you got to be careful. You don't give up a pick 6, and then you go down 3 touchdowns, which is pretty tough to come back with.
This is just wonderful, John. How many times have we seen that score on our thing?
That's
14
great.
zip. It's usually the reverse. We've usually got the donut hole on our side.
Here's Rashevsky. Got a receiver. Is that Olson? It is.
Yeah.
Kind of a floater there, but Olson comes down with it at the 32-yard line. And that'll move the sticks. 2:02 time on the clock.
Nice toss.
Again, take a look at these linemen now for Palmyra. And again, 50 is not a small kid.
Nope.
But when he's up against 78 here on this side of the line,
Yep.
it looks like a man against a boy there. I mean,
Right. What about this Olson, who's our wide receiver out here? I mean, this kid's 6'3", 200 pounds. That's a big target to throw to when you're, a 5'10", 160-pound cornerback, watching him come out at you. So.
Spartans are going to take a timeout here. Again, we're getting texts from all over. Those folks at Bootleggers last week enjoyed hearing a
pitch
mention.
for theirs. Well, actually, tonight, too, I could say we got Sadie's down in Palmyra. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the Eagle restaurants that they have in the area, because when I was down there, that's where this announcer started his teaching and coaching career.
So that was supposed to be the trivia question.
Yeah, there was supposed to be something involved with
You
that.
have coached
Oh!
at both of these schools.
Wait a second, John. Last week's game, we talked about why is it called the red zone from the 20-yard line in. I did a little investigative
And I said that's
reporting.
the bar in Highland.
You said it was a bar in Highland. I said that's not where it originally came from. I will explain to you in the third quarter where the term red zone was created and how it was used and whatever. Don't think that just when the telecast is over, we just forget about it till next week. There's a lot of work to be done during the week to make this high-quality telecast come your way.
Rashevsky fakes the handoff. Airs
Jump
it
ball.
up. Look
Whoa.
out. Oh, boy. That one is to number 17, Calvin Butenhoff.
Yep.
Boy, I have not heard that name since growing up in Monroe. There was a guy named Boots Butenhoff, and I believe he ran a gun shop right across from the junior high.
Oh,
Between
that
the-
would go over big nowadays.
Well, of
wouldn't
course,
it,
our
John?
junior
Yeah.
high in Monroe, we were right next to the brewery. So
Well,
you
that
walk
would
to
go over
school-
well
You'd
also,
walk
John.
to school all the time, and you'd smell that malt and hops in the morning, and that's
A gun shop and a brewery and
Oh,
a
yeah.
school. That's a
Boots.
great trio.
Boots Butenhoff. I suppose anybody named Butenhoff has a nickname.
Right.
Boots.
That was Zach Neal, by the way, on that defense on that last
Airs
play.
it up. Oh, we might have had a push-off.
Oh, boy.
Olson's
Was
got
that
it,
a
but
lovely
this might
catch.
be a push-off.
Yep. Let's see if that laundry, what it's going to tell us.
I'm thinking it's coming back. I'm thinking it's coming back. They're talking about it.
Let's see
They're
if the
thinking.
voice of McFarland Athletics.
Oh,
No.
they're gonna call
Defensive
holding. Maybe the push-off was because he was getting held.
Maybe.
Hey, we're going to see it again.
No, we're not, because we.
Oh, yeah.
focused.
No, I
It
guess we
happened
couldn't
before.
see it.
Yep.
But the Panthers now first and goal from the 5-yard line with 1:33 on the clock.
Big stand here. A little excitement down there. We're down on the student end of the field, so let's hope those students are loud.
First and goal, Rashevsky, the quarterback.
Help
See
your
if they give
team.
it to Salas. He can get the 5 yards. Oh,
And we just got a gift back.
Carpenter falls
Number
forward
10, Simon
a step.
Carpenter. And again, you're split way outside. What are you moving for?
Well, and again, Bill, we've seen that on both sides of the ball.
Yes,
That
we
probably
have.
explains why each team has the record they do this year, because of mistakes like that.
Good point, John. Yeah, I said
turnovers.
turnovers.
Just little things that just
right,
kill
penalties. Yeah, but those are the little things that, and we've discussed this how many times too, the lack of consistency. You get a nice play and then it just gets negated by the next play.
This would be a huge stop for the Spartans and a
Yes, it would be.
backbreaker for the Panthers.
Yep.
Rashevsky, long count. Long count. On the option. Ooh, almost got the ball stripped.
Almost stripped.
Gets maybe 4 back. 41 seconds. Now the Panthers are going to have to stop the clock.
Boy, that ball almost, John, got
close.
stripped.
That was close. Again, we're getting texts from all over.
Whoa, then we have an interesting little sidelight here, John. Maybe you'd like to
this
share
is
this.
Arlen Halverson's 500th game on the chains.
Not
500 home games. That would put him back to, I don't think we played 500 home games.
Now,
50.
we're going to get another text back saying
game
50th game. Arlen Halverson's McFarland School Board. 50th game on the chains.
I do miss Jeff Rice over there. I remember one year Jeff getting tangled up in the chain. It was about a 10-minute delay in the game, got wrapped around his leg. We're getting texts. I've received texts tonight from La Crosse. I've received texts from Sewanee, Georgia. People all over watching us tonight. I think that's because Ben Bex is doing the cameras.
Well, I think
that's
so
where
also.
we're from making his debut tonight.
Well, and I got one text I couldn't even read because it was in Chinese, sent from Shanghai, China by the Hefties that are over there obviously viewing the game tonight. So we're going to have to try and get an interpreter in here.
They're watching it tomorrow.
That could be. So we'll have to see if we can get somebody to break down that Chinese response from Shanghai.
Out. Got a receiver. Touchdown, Palmyra-Eagle.
Goodness, was that pretty well defended
Brady
over
Olson.
there.
6'3", 202 pounds. That's all Brady Olson, though. That was a nice play. We'll see that highlight. This one's going to make the TV tonight.
Good throw, good catch, good defense.
Oh, outstanding defense.
Just outside the reach of Nick Herbst over there. Thought he was going to tip that away. Well, that's the last thing that the Spartans needed here was thought it was our opportunity here to pitch a shutout tonight, John. But
look at the screen there up on the top. You can see these lights. Those are not UFOs. We're down in the hill a little.
Oh, do I know what it is? I think that's the Goodyear blimp. We had a little. Nice
booming kick into the middle school section, supervised tonight by Andrew Garvey. 14-7. That's exactly what Palmyra-Eagle had to do. Not exactly what the Spartans wanted to see, but makes it a one-score game again. 35 seconds to go here in the first half, so the Spartans will get a couple of plays on offense, assuming they don't turn it over on the return. Yep. I'm going to guess the Panthers will probably squib it in some way, but I might be wrong. Look, we've had a number of fans come in. You really want to see the crowd, though. Watch the crowd after the band plays. That's a McFarland tradition where the crowd leaves. It's like it's like a fire drill at halftime, and it's like, come on, folks. I mean, but what do I know?
I think we should be here to support every kid that's participating, whether they're a water boy or girl,
I was standing
a
with
person, a band.
I was standing
whatever.
with a Broadhead fan one year, and after halftime, you see all these people get up and leave, and they're like, "What's the deal here?" And I'm like, "Well."
Absolutely. I use the phrase, shame on you. There's no reason. I just can't imagine where else. Here in McFarland, it's a beautiful night.
That's great.
Japers, this is just, and for whatever, if you got a pass, fine. If you don't, $4, John. Tell me what else you can do for $4.
Ooh, timeout. Ooh, this is rare. I don't know, Bill, if I've ever seen this where a kicking team called timeout, unless they were a player or two short, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
That's not the case, John.
Yeah, those are the Butenhoff boys, Calvin and Owen, 17 and 18 out there on the kick team. Like I said, I'm just one of these people that just names just stick in my head, and I guess
Yep.
That's how I can remember 50, 60, 70 race cars in a night. But the name Butenhoff, just haven't seen that one in a long time.
Hey, John, I usually do this at halftime, but I'm going to just do this right now, too. Let's look at our other Spartan sports. I want to give a positive shout-out here to, and good luck to Mr. Fisher and the cross-country teams, boys and girls, Mr. Weiss with girls swimming, Miss Gaffney with girls tennis, Mr. Gorzalek, boys soccer, Miss Fortune, girls volleyball, as they head into regionals and sectionals and hopefully state competition with all those sports. Mr. Lundquist with the girls golf team has already finished their season, but good luck to the rest of the Spartan teams, and let's hope that
Look
maybe.
out.
Uh-oh.
Live ball. Somebody's got to pick it up. Does it stay on the field? Oh, that was close. My goodness.
I thought we were going to have another player come over and bat it out
Yeah,
of bounds, sort of like we
Wow.
saw in a professional football game last week where the ball was batted out of the end zone, and they said it was unintentional.
We made that one exciting.
Yes,
there,
we
folks.
did, Jen.
Oh, my.
Yep.
I don't know if the ball went out of bounds. Well, no, it would have been a penalty flag if it would
Right.
have been out of bounds. So Spartans dodge one. 34 seconds to go, 14-7.
Going to try and do something or just go in at 14-7, Jen?
Trips to the right. We're going to air it out. Wedvik looking. Big rush.
Smart decision. Now, there's a little maturity, John.
Nice catch by Grayson Wilson on the sideline.
But I like that because I think that earlier in the season, Brady might have just said, I'm going to throw it up and still try and get something. And that's, I'm going to use the word maturity. That's a sign of growth in your quarterback. Been a long, tough season, but boy, has he gotten some just unbelievable experience this year. And they can do nothing but pay dividends when we're sitting in this booth next year, and what I think we're going to see in the home opener next year.
Well, you got a number of linemen that are back, if not almost all of them, except Green and Ebert. Oh,
Careful.
This is dangerous. It was what we were worried about. Carpenter dances into the end zone for the touchdown. It's exactly what you cannot do in that situation. Well, just when you think. Simon Carpenter.
I don't know if you can even use the word just when you think.
Oh, my. Waltzes into the end zone, and now you're looking at potentially a tie game going in here to halftime as the Panthers are going to score twice.
And the Panthers didn't have enough timeouts to even.
They're going to score twice in what, less than a
18
minute?
seconds? No, they scored twice in 17 seconds.
Here's the kick. It looks good, and it is. We are tied. Panther fans on their feet on the opposite side, and just when you thought we were going to go in up 2 scores, it's tied.
Yep, and here when you, I don't know what to say. I'm just kind of sitting here going, we have just watched a 14-point advantage disappear. They scored at 35 seconds left in the first half, and now 18 seconds, 17 seconds apart, and we now have a.
It's the one thing you got to be careful of, throwing to the sidelines.
Right. And it wasn't downfield or anything, and you'd basically at that point in time just trying to run out the clock and go in at 14-7 or something, and.
The texts are coming in now.
Yes, they are. Our phones are lighting up. Our switchboard in front of us is all lit up. I'm sorry, we got an overload here. We're just hoping that it doesn't start to start smoking here with all the.
Somebody just called in, wondered if the boys had finished their pizza yet. So here's Rashevsky. Ooh, little pop-up kick.
Yep.
Get on
that or get it out of bounds. That's all right.
Now I'm going to say you take a knee and get out of here.
Yep. And you know what, John? There's still a lot of positives that came out of this first half.
Oh, no doubt.
We got 14 points on the board. We moved the ball well on a couple of drives, even a third drive, and we just failed to put it together as we got down deep in the Panther territory in that. So a lot of positives, I think, for Coach Ackley to discuss at halftime in that and come out and put together a real positive performance here and get that first win tonight. I called for it in my pregame show, and I'm still going with it. I think we're going to get that first victory tonight. Hang on to that ball. And that should bring us
Christian Jensen. Again, 3 seniors, I believe, on that line. Now looking at Perkle
Fans
and
giving the
Bartuska.
kids a nice round of applause, which I like here. Applauding the positives. John, again, we've got the seniors here tonight. Ryan McDonald, Chase Werwinski, Kelly Logan, Evan Alsmo, Dylan Bartuska, Christian Jensen, Anthony Brown, Jacob Sandriel, Jacob Green, Jacob Ebert, and Silas Strait are this year's senior class that are playing their last home game. So what I'd like all of you to do here, we're going to step out. Again, let me just mention the trivia question that we'll be coming back and giving you the answer to, as well as explaining why the term red zone came up in football. Tonight's trivia question, and again, I'm not changing it, even based on the feedback we've gotten and all the calls in. Which of these activities takes the longest time? A, thawing a 14-pound turkey. B, cooking a 14-pound turkey. C, watching an NFL doubleheader on Thanksgiving. Or D, digesting a turkey dinner. So right now, you are viewing the dance squad. Before I sign off here, McFarland High School dance team, Aaron Curtin, Danielle Dorn, Anna Jorgensen, Camille Schmidt, Sarah Schurshock, Allison Sommer, Lauren Staley, Mercedes Thiel, and Lily Tyler, under the direction of Lexi Schradel. So please enjoy them, as well as our final home appearance of the McFarland Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Ben Peterson. We'd also like to give a shout out to our new district administrator, Mr. Andrew Burrell, and new high school principal. So, please enjoy the halftime performances here by dance team, band, and voice and we'll be back for the second half of McFarland football senior night in about 5-10 minutes. Take a break.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, we proudly present the McFarland High School Marching Band. Drum majors, Henry Lee, Zach Wolf, and Jonah Day. Is the band ready?
Great one. Guy came flying up. Great catch.
Thank you, drum majors. Tonight on Senior Night 2015, the Spartan Band performs music from some of the greatest Disney movies of all time. Here is When You Wish Upon a Star, and from The Little Mermaid, Kiss the Girl. From the movie Aladdin, here is A Whole New World. From the Lion King, here is Hakuna Matata. Now time for the 2015 senior feature, which the band will perform Trumpets and Dancing Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, we now like to announce this year's senior band class. Peter Ale, Ben Ale, Brittany Broom, Robert Cook, Matthew Davidson, Jonah Day, Dean Docken, Patrick Nord, Sophia Drews, Adam Froden, Christina Grzybowski, Joe Heiser, Kevin Jordan, Juliet Keith, Carter Class, Madeline Ross, Molly Malewski, Jessica Nays, Haley Olson, Ian Potter, Derek Roberts, Mia Shuck, Saul Sigmund, Haley Stoneman, Shelby Strasberg, Maya Thurston, Madison Whitting, and Alex Wolf and Zachary Wolf. Congratulations, seniors! Ladies and gentlemen, please help us to congratulate the senior band class of 2016.
So you're going to have help with the say it's coming up?
Closing tonight's performance, the Spartan Band performs what has become a proud tradition. Here's our special version of the school song. Here's Finally Victors.
All right, and we are back for the second half of senior night. Final game of the season at Lloyd Schneider Stadium. McFarland, Palmyra-Eagle locked in a 14-14 tie. Let me just pick up the scoring summary from the first half of tonight's game. In quarter number one at the 6:36 mark on a great drive, there was a 5-yard run by McFarland, making the score 7-0. Extra point by Nick Herbst.
Who was that?
What? Oh, Ryan McDonald. Ryan McDonald, a 5-yard run at the 6:36 mark. Extra point by Nick Herbst was good. McFarland 7-0. In the second quarter, there were three scoring opportunities. At 2:46, there was a 29-yard pass from Brady B-Dubs Wedvik to Nick Herbst. Extra point good again. McFarland got off to a 14-0 lead. However, right at the end of the first half, disaster struck at the 35-second mark. 10-yard pass from Roszewski to Brady Olson, extra point good. McFarland 14, Palmyra-Eagle 7. And then 17 seconds later, B-Dubs stepped back, threw a pass to the flat, which was intercepted. 37-yard pick, interception by Brady Olson. Return, extra point was good, thus putting us at our halftime score of 14-14.
And Bill, tonight also, senior band members Peter and Ben Hale, Brittany Broom, Rob Cook, Matthew Davidson, Jonah Day, Dean Docken, Patrick Dorn, Sophia Drews, Adam Froden, Christina Grzybowski, Joe Heiser, Kevin Jordan, Juliet King, Carter Kloss, Maddie Loss, Molly Malepsky, Jessica Nays, Haley Olson, Ian Ponder, Derek Roberts, Mia Shunk, Saul Sigmund, Haley Stoneman, Shelby Strasberg, Maya Thurston, Madison Whiting, Alex Wolf, and Zach Wolf. Seniors tonight for our band.
Yep, that's a nice touch, John, because, again, I think this is a total – we want to recognize as many people as we can here because that goes into what we call the Spartan experience here, whether it's football, basketball, anything else, you name it, John. I mean, from our concession workers, ticket takers, supervisors, chain gang, people up in the booth, announcers, our spotters, all of our assistant coaches, which I'll quick run down. Head coach Paul Ackley again, varsity assistant Chris Dirk, Eric Johnson, Doug Peterson, Ryan Rothwell, Mike Friedel, the world's oldest volunteer and cheerleader. Freshman coaches Peter Shaw, Lee Ackley, and Michael Darden, our statistician Chad Pele. Managers Jared Green, Hunter Waddell, Allie Alverson, and Megan Harden. Ball boys and girls, Maddie Johnson and Max Hansen. T-girl, Caitlin Ackley. Football volunteers, Brian Hellenbrand. And again, our athletic trainer, the best, Mr. Jay Hansen.
Hey, we came prepared tonight. Got the
Yep.
stocking cap and the gloves on.
Yep, you got it.
Feeding people pizza, including those two kids calling the plays for Palmyra-Eagle here in the first half. Down here with the headsets on. Roszewski will kick off to start the second half.
We should name you Gentleman John Wells.
This is going to be a wild second half.
Yep, I think so. And a haze, John, over the field.
Oh, a lot of running
Ooh.
after contact. Still
Look
going
at
forward.
Werwinski. Nice job, Chase.
37-yard line.
Excellent return by Chase Werwinski, who, so far this year, has been averaging 17.6 yards on kickoff returns, so that improved that average. I said Chase was a preseason all-area team nominee.
Good athlete.
Yep. All around, he does everything for McFarland. Punts.
Here we go, though. Second half is underway now. Wedvik, the quarterback. Handoff Jensen, just like the first half. Gain of 5.
Yep.
Same way the Spartans started their first offensive possession. Again, we've got text messages coming in from all over. Bill, you've got 4 backed up on
Oh, boy.
your phone now. And
Yep.
second down and 5. Good job there by, I believe is that Alsmo?
Yep.
Yeah, Evan Alsmo. Good
Alsmo.
job hanging on to that ball. Going to be short, though. We'll bring up third down and 2.
Busy night tonight for Evan Alsmo. That was actually his first run from scrimmage, but he has 4 receptions for 35 yards, so important out at the split end position so far.
Third down and 2. Pitch back. McDonald.
Armack.
Going to be short. He's going to get out to the 45-yard line. Needed to get to the 47.
Simon Carpenter just wouldn't let him out of his grasp.
Carpenter, I got to believe, third year of varsity. He's only a junior. That would go for basketball and baseball, too, I believe.
Right.
It's a nice tackle there by Carpenter. Again, Panthers with some good size and some good athletes. Some of those athletes will be back next year. It'll be 4th and 2. Werwinski back to kick this side of his 30. Good snap. Left-footed boot. Nice kick.
End over end.
Fielded at the 20, 25.
Uh-oh.
This is Salas. Got some running room out to the 40-yard line where he's dropped there. 20-yard return for William Salas. So good field position for the Panthers to start the second half here. Again, it's Friday night, October the 9th, 2015. 10:01 to go in the third quarter. Tie ball game.
Salas been averaging about 6.5 yards per punt return. That was a little longer than that. And actually, he's returned one for a touchdown. So it was good. Evan Alsmo held him to the inside there and made the tackle. Good job, Evan.
See if the Panthers will go to the air here to start out their possession. Sweep.
Oh, Marmack got in deep. Good.
Running. Oh, nowhere to go, and down he goes.
Good pursuit by
Met
a
for
host of Spartans.
Yeah, met for a play date in the backfield.
There we go. I like that one.
Yeah, well, I heard
That term, the play date.
I heard a PA announcer use that term in a game a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, haze. An eerie haze.
There is.
Now hanging over the field. It's that or smoke.
I think that came from a couple of things. There was either the flyby at halftime. We had the F-14 fighter jets come overhead, and maybe they just spewed out a little extra smoke. Or also we had a great fireworks display here on senior night that those of you sitting at home missed out on. So a little haze over the field. But
that was a loss of 7, so second down 17. Intercepted.
Whoa, there we go.
Grayson Wilson right around midfield.
Nice job. Now, time for Sparty here. Push it home. Let's get down the field and get
Mason
the lead.
Rashevsky just turned and threw the ball. Didn't really.
Yep.
Let's watch this one again. Yeah, just threw it to about where the first down was, but no chance for Olsen to get that ball. So Grayson Wilson, the man on the spot, picks up the interception. The ball is right at midfield.
Do you want me to remind you of what you said the last time the ball was at midfield, John? I had one play left. It's at the end of the quarter.
Have to move
Who's
the ball
going to stay right there? Didn't even give us a chance to get any yardage on that.
Pitch out. Alsmo cuts it up, gets some yardage. Hey, pulls his way forward. The Panther 45-yard line. Going to be a 5-yard gain for Evan. Yeah,
he's had really a
keep
nice
coming
senior
in
night game. I know it. Oh, we just got a text in. No, I'm sorry. The smoke is not from my moped unless somebody has moved it from the parking lot and is on it right now.
Well, we did have a
but I
gas
appreciate it because those of you that know me around town, they call me the sheriff around town. I'm always patrolling on my little moped, so make sure you say hi. And how much you appreciate these telecasts.
I've even seen you pull over cars, Bill.
Oh, yeah. I
think
I
it
do
was
it
on
all.
that designated night where anybody was stopped as a potential drunk driver, and you were pulling over cars. So
I do a little bit of everything here,
even
John.
saw you pull over a police car. Nick Herp slips.
Trying to help out the community. Great sportsmanship right there. Carpenter to Herbst, helping him up in that. You know, we've seen a lot of that this year, John, and I really have to comment on that. In the Rock Valley, all these games this year, we've just seen really what I would call exceptional sportsmanship. Guys on both sides of the ball helping each other up. Even a couple of injuries in that. I mean, kids, not leaving the scene in that, kind of just standing there checking out. Hey, you can probably just know there's, hey, you okay, or whatever. That's wonderful. I love to see that.
Fourth down, Werwinski is in. Doesn't seem to be quite as deep as he normally is. So
you call him maybe for the fake here again, John?
Sooner or later,
we've called for it twice.
There it is.
There it is.
Hey, look at this!
We're gonna get it.
Running room, still going, all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Fredrickson, a 5'9"
wow,
185-pound junior.
We knew we were going to see it sooner or later. And again, Chase did not line up his normal depth.
No.
Now, again, Bill, you got a good play here. Boy, where's Fredrickson been all year carrying the ball? That was pretty speedy.
Kyle Fredrickson on the year, 3 carries for 20 yards.
He could be the go-to back next year.
Yep.
He and Tyler Johnson.
Yep, that would be nice.
Wedvik faked the handoff, but hangs on to the ball. No gain, tackled there by John Triola.
Yep. Hey, also, I've been handing out a lot of thank yous tonight, too, and Before I forget it, at the end of the telecast here, John, a big thank you to you for 13 years of service as summer school director here in McFarland, and a recent retiree from that job. So,
well, yes and no. Oh, look out.
Careful. Smart there again. Brady's showing his maturity. Nothing there. Don't throw it up for grabs. Don't pull a Brian Hoyer, Houston Texans, like I saw last night on TV, where he just threw it up for grabs and end of ball game. You got to be smart and just get rid of the ball, come back. Ball's still sitting there. You didn't lose any yardage in that. So nice job again by B-Dubs. Good sign of maturity. He's shown that he's progressed throughout this year.
Mike Friedel, 5 years ago, Mike would have been leaping to catch that
Yes,
one on the sideline. He just watched that one go over like a duck hunter.
Yep.
Third down. Wedvik. He's got some running room. Nope. Fake.
Still looking.
Oh, incomplete. Just out of the reach of Chase Werwinski.
Yep, got hands on it.
Now it's fourth. You come up with that nice fake. Maybe you ought to go back into punt formation here and fake out of it again. That seems to work for us.
I don't quite know if they'd be fooled by that, though, John. That would be possibly the shortest pooch punt in history. From your 15-yard line, trying to pooch it down inside the 5, I guess, huh?
We're going to have to take a timeout. I always thought about that back when a missed field goal automatically went to the 20. You could have attempted an 80-yard field goal.
Oh, John.
Miss it.
Yep, I'm going to quick interrupt here. Our trivia question. Which of these activities takes the longest time? A, thawing a 14-pound turkey. B, cooking a 14-pound turkey. C, watching an NFL doubleheader on Thanksgiving Day. Or D, digesting a turkey dinner. John, your choice?
I think I answered this one before.
Yes, you
I think
did.
I'm going with D.
Okay, you say digesting.
But I'm wrong.
Ryan? Mr. Denzer says A, thawing a 14-pound turkey. What do you think, Ben? Ben Bex goes digesting along with the golden voice, John
Let's ask
Wells.
those kids from Palmyra.
They would know. Your answer is letter D.
Hey.
It takes 24 hours to fully digest a turkey dinner.
Ooh, we're going to kick.
Are
we going to kick?
What a great trivia question. Huh? I hope we'll get some positive feedback now that the answer's been given out with people bragging about, I knew that answer. I got it right.
Nick Herbst. This is going to be a 31-yard field goal attempt, but it's a
fake.
Run it, Nick. Run.
Great
Go.
call.
Nick.
Got the
He's
outside.
He's going to get to the touchdown. Nick Herbst.
Touchdown.
Hey! Nick Herbst. I think they're going to call that a 16-yard run.
Absolutely.
Nick Herbst with his second touchdown of the night. This one
as a sophomore
on the ground. Nick, what a play call there. 7:05 to go in the third quarter. Spartans on the board again. Nick Herbst hesitated a little bit. He's like, hey.
Well, John,
And
to be honest with you, John, I think that was planned from what we've seen of.
Well, they tried that on the extra point last week. They did the high snap. Now, big extra point here now because it's a 6-point game. And, oh, my goodness. It made it.
Boy, these babies. I think we have the shortest distance of makes on extra points that we've ever witnessed tonight, John.
That was a wounded goose there. That one barely fluttered over, but it counts.
John, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if you kick it over the scoreboard or you barely get it over, but big thing there is now it's a 7-point game, so that forces Palmyra-Eagle, if they want to tie this game up, they're going to have to convert on the extra point.
Absolutely.
7:05 to go in the third quarter.
Big night tonight for a couple of players. Nick Herbst, sophomore. Evan Alsmo, senior, having a nice ball game tonight.
Nick's going to be our player of the week here.
Yep. Ryan McDonald, big night tonight for him, rushing the ball. So some good performances here tonight out of some Spartans. Ooh, look at those
Good
bright
student,
lights. Are those
good student section over there on the
those aren't
right
alien ships
screen.
out there, are they?
Yeah,
John?
look at that.
Look at the haze.
They look round.
Yep.
Nice
Brightly lit
panoramic view.
Yep, giving us and the lush green field Nice job by our maintenance staff preparing this field, seeing as though it gets double usage with soccer here also, John, as well as
Soccer
I
team
believe
having a
youth
good
football.
year.
Yep, soccer team getting ready to head into regionals.
Oh, look at this. Oh, get on it. Ooh, watch the late hit. Number 20 again covered it. We saw that earlier. That's Dan Jones.
Yep, that's two of those he's had to pick up. Bouncing off him twice, but he did the smart thing. Quick recovery and didn't try and do anything fancy. Just got on the ball knowing they got great field position up here, John.
Kept it away from the Butenhoff boys. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but Boots.
Again, people, you want to watch these broadcasts in the future, they want to go to other people, go to YouTube, type it McFarland Cable, and anybody anywhere in the United States, the world, can view the game. So tell it to your extended family if they're out of this area and that, turn in. They can watch these kids play football.
Salas gets away from one, not going to
Again,
get away
great
from another.
pursuit.
Tyler Johnson is there amongst others.
Yep, great pursuit.
Nick Herbst.
They've
Nick
really-
Herbst. This is by far Nick's best game of the season now. Again, both sides. Most of these Spartans playing both sides of the ball.
Yep. Salas going backwards here. He was at one point in time 8 carries for 47 yards. Now he's got 11 for 35. So
That was a loss of 2.
good pursuit by the Spartans.
Salas and Carpenter to the right and left of Rashevsky. High snap. Fake handoff. He's got some room.
Stay outside.
Evan
Good job,
Alsmo stays
Alsmo.
home and forces him back inside.
Yep, Evan Alsmo, great job forcing him back inside.
I think Tyler Johnson might have got his foot stepped on.
Well, he's a little gimpy.
He's going to have to come out.
Yeah, he should come out of there.
So they got 2 back, but it'll be 3rd down and 10. Clock stopped with 5:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tyler in a little bit of pain.
Yep. You
And
know,
here
while he's
comes-
being looked at here, John, I'm going to go into the red zone because we had that question. We wanted to know why it was called the red zone, okay? I did a little research, and I found this out. Actually, the red zone originated from the military's use of the term, meaning the red zone was within firing range, which makes sense. You get inside the 20, it means you're usually going to score, field goal or touchdown. However, when was it first used? It was supposedly first used by Dave Plotty, who was the sports information director at the University of Colorado some centuries ago, who had a flair for worthless stats. And now he is a stat man for the Denver Broncos, and thus he created this name, the red zone, at that time for this worthless stat at the time back in the 80s of when one team entered inside the other team's 20-yard line. So we're saying it was created by the military, meaning within firing range, however, first applied to football by Dave Plotty, former sports information director, and now worthless stat man for the Denver Broncos
I think
since
somebody
the 80s.
referred to me as a worthless stat once.
Well, John, I claim to be the stat man on this telecast, so if anybody is worthless, I believe I'm worthless. I believe you're priceless, okay? So we've got both ends of the spectrum covered there.
3rd and
Worthless,
10.
priceless.
Rashevsky pumps, looks, floats one out there. Oh, look at that!
Off the hands of Grayson Wilson into Werwinski.
Give
As-
Wilson the assist.
Yep,
Werwinski the interception.
Yep, and they sandwiched Olsen on that, Brady Olsen.
And it kind of floated up there in that heavy air tonight.
Yeah, it did. He saw it through the smog, which is still over the field at probably about, what would you say, about a 25-foot height over where the players are playing. So that ball got up into the clouds there.
Ball's going to be at the Spartan 23-yard line.
Teamwork. Wilson.
5:37.
Yep, Wilson to Werwinski on the intercept. The tip drill, John.
Let's see if we can get a good drive going here. Just straight ahead dive for Keeley. Gets out over the 25 to the 26, gain of 3.
Kind of a quiet night for our leading rusher tonight. That's his 5th carry for 20 yards tonight for Liam.
A lot of different kids carrying the ball.
Yes, there are. Ryan McDonald, 10 for 71. Christian Jensen, 5 for 25. Evan Alsmo, 2 for 7. Brady Wedvig, 3 for 14. Grayson Wilson, 1 for 2. So, yep, kind of spreading it out here, John.
So second down, 7. Alsmo will go in motion and then comes back. McDonald will go in motion. Pitch back to McDonald. And he's pushed out of bounds there by Salas.
Yeah.
Credit Rashevsky for forcing him out of bounds.
Yeah, good penetration.
Great night for football. A little on the chilly side, but hey, it's October. You can. Some Octobers it's 30 degrees, some it's 70. It's going to be up close to 80 on Sunday.
Yep. Well, I'm just glad we don't have that big cold breeze blowing in like we did last Friday night, Jen.
3rd and 7.
Whoa.
Oh, down he goes. Hit there by number 44, Dylan Stano. 6'2", 221, and a senior. Again, Panthers with some good size out there.
Yep, for a school, John, again, of about 300, a little over 300 students in that. This is pretty good. It's a nice competitive ball game tonight, John, for both teams.
And they travel well.
Yes, they do.
Here's a replay. Here and again, Steno just fights off number 50 there, Cade Werwinski.
Yep.
So Chase Werwinski will be back to kick inside his 10. Good boot. Salas has it at his 42 over midfield. Inside the 45 to the 44, so good field position as a plane comes overhead.
Yep.
Do you think the fans, or the plane, people on the plane,
We're still looking. I
can
don't know.
see the scoreboard from up there? Probably
I don't know. Maybe.
I saw one fly over low enough today over McFarland that someone waved to me while I was walking home. It's like, wow.
John, that's as believable as the Snoopy Goodyear blimp
Well,
has been over the stadium tonight. We have yet to get, we're having a few problems getting our cameras working up there in Snoopy tonight, but we're still hoping to get an aerial view of the field from the Snoopy blimp here
next
tonight
year
over
we're going to have
McFarland.
access to that drone.
All right, yep.
It's going to be called a day drone. It's going to be painted white like his truck.
Will it be leaking anything, John?
Will fly over your house. Here we go. Trips to the right. Oh,
Ooh,
nice catch by Olsen. My goodness. And that's a dangerous one there, too. If you don't throw that ball high,
Or it's tipped.
Alsmo or
Yep.
one of the other Spartans is stepping in between, going the other way.
Yep. Brady Olsen again, big target, 6'3".
Play only gained about 4 yards.
Yep, 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, Jen. Spartans got to come up with a stop here.
Paulson over the ball. Going to be 2nd down and 6 for the Panthers. Rashevsky rolls out to his right, looking, still looking. And he's going to throw that one out of bounds.
Good
onto
coverage.
the track.
Yep. Very good coverage.
Gone. So incomplete will bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and 7.
Get going.
Ball didn't
Get
move.
up. Get out of here and gone off the sidelines. Little Bob Uecker football talk
So
there.
a good look at the Palmyra-Eagle sideline again with their dance team or
Yep.
cheerleaders here. Panthers going to take a timeout.
That's wonderful, isn't it, John, to know that that's still giving more kids in a small community like that even more opportunities.
For an away
in
game,
that.
you know,
Yeah,
that's-
for an away game like this.
When that group came marching in here, it was
Pretty
like
impressive.
The 3rd Armor Division.
Oh,
All of a
and
sudden, up they come up that hill, and it's like, wow.
That was wonderful. You're right.
Good to see. And again, it's easy to get on the bandwagon and follow a team that's 6-1 or 7-0, but to see a bus come supporting these kids 1 and 6, I mean, that's got to be a good feeling for those kids out on the field to say, hey, you know, it's
Absolutely.
we got support whether we win or we don't win. And
Right.
unfortunately, in sports, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose.
I don't know, John. Maybe I could take a little credit for that, too, seeing as though when I started in 1971, I kind of instituted a travel bus thing down there and kind of got that whole thing going. So I'm glad to see that My traditions continued down there, as well as the fact that I got their 7th graders when I coached them. That was the only team in Palmyra history that's gone to the state
You
basketball
may have
tournament.
some players of former
oh, I'm sure.
parents
Oh,
now
for
of-
sure. Yep.
third down long count penalty, and somebody on the Palmyra-Eagle side jumped.
Well, I walked over to the Palmyra-Eagle sideline when I first got here tonight, and somebody did holler out, "You're still alive, huh?" So I said, "Yep, but still alive." Still
You had that
kicking,
large
so.
sign saying, "I'm Bill Cather. I taught in Palmyra."
71 to 74. Allowed.
71. And then you came to Monona Grove then,
Yep.
and you were there how long?
74 to 2004. And John, I am now in my 11th year of retirement. Yep.
Doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Well,
but you've
some
been
days,
coaching.
yeah.
You've been active.
Still active,
since
John.
retirement.
Coaching, yep. Coaching. Doing as much as I can to stay involved with kids.
Oh, Keeley had him, but let him go. I don't know if he
Yeah.
realized he had the ball or not.
It almost looked like it was flag football or two-handed touch there or something. Liam, throw him to the ground. Wrap him up.
Well,
All right,
Panthers,
4th and 7. Here we go.
They haven't tried a fake punt yet. About the only time he comes out, I believe, is when they punt the ball. Reshevsky will be back inside his 45-yard line. So who knows? Salas is going to come out. About the only time he comes out, I believe, is when they punt the ball. Reshevsky will be back inside his 45-yard line.
And we had to just use a timeout because we had too many men on the field.
And that again goes into the "this shouldn't happen" column.
And that's unfortunate because, as we all know, how valuable those timeouts are, John, when you get in the last couple minutes of the game. And you know, the thing is that I don't care if it's football or soccer, basketball, whatever. People have a tendency to just put all focus and emphasis on the last couple minutes of a ball game. You need to look at the entirety of the ball game. Like right here, if they come up one timeout short where they need it at the end, let's go back right now to the 2-minute and 35-second mark of the third quarter and say, that's what cost us. It wasn't what happened in the last, 30 seconds of the game where they were able to run one more play. And you need to look at, things that happen right away in the first minute of the game, in all these sports and say you got to get kids to visualize that too and say, my gosh, you got to play in football here. We're playing the full 32 minutes. Minute number 1 of the first quarter is just as important as minute 32 or 31 at the end.
Reshevsky angles this one, and it goes into the end zone. So
right.
43-yard punt for Mason Reshevsky, and the Spartans will take over at their 20-yard line. Yeah, none more true in that situation than a kid who misses a free throw at the end of the game and his or her team loses, but you missed 15 during the game, including 8 1-and-1s.
Absolutely.
It comes down to a perception of, well, it was that last free throw, but everything that happens in a game is going to add up at some point, and unfortunately it generally comes down to that last play. And
right. That's what people focus on and say, oh, that's what cost us the game. Wrong.
So here come the Spartans. Brady Wedvik.
Yep, B-dubs.
And off Keeley.
Lower the shoulder.
Haven't seen Christian Jensen here. He's on the sidelines.
Yeah, he ran the ball 5 times for 25 yards in the first half, John, and I don't believe we've seen much of him in the backfield.
Got Sundrell, Werwinski, Perkel on the line.
Yep.
Green, Ebert. So 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. Got to get this one off here. Straight ahead again to Keeley.
Yeah, kind of a slow-moving play that time, John. It was kind of like everybody in a little kind of slow motion there.
Yeah, we're kind of like trying to run some time here. 1:35 to go in the third quarter. 21-14.
This is important, Spartans can't just sit here on this. This is a one-possession game, John. I said, I got to believe, even as good as a Palmyra-Eagle kicker is, that if they came down to it in the last minute, I think they'd go for 2 and say, hey, not going to have a tie in this. Have an Allsmo?
Oh, nice job by Reshevsky fighting off the block.
Yep.
Zach Neal trying to hold him off, but Reshevsky fought that one off well.
And there was
That's
going to
bring up
pursuit
4th
also.
and 4, Bill, and they're going to have to kick it away.
Yep, number 66, Ben Lavelle, a 5'11", 218-pound linebacker, junior for Palmyra-Eagle also. Came over to put the finishing touches that time on Evan Alsmo.
The question right now is, has Mason Reshevsky, other than that one play for an injury, been off the field for Palmyra? He punts, he kicks.
Well,
He's
when you're
offense and defense.
when you're school 308
yeah,
kids, you just don't have the numbers that the other places
Salas,
do.
45.
Well, I'll tell you, he isn't afraid to field the ball with somebody right
Well,
in
he
his
still
face. Yep.
Took 3 Spartans to get him down. Who was the first one there?
Tough kid.
That was Tyler Johnson.
Yep.
And who's the last one up here?
Well,
Somebody
looks
getting
like-
up very slowly. Is that
Oh,
Grayson Wilson?
Yeah, looks like it might be a cramp. And again, our super trainer, Jay Hansen, again, those fabled words whenever there's an injury, go see Jay. And kids go, no, because they know Jay is so good and so careful about protecting the best interests of the kid and their general health and that, and not wanting them to participate and further jeopardize their participation down the road in that, whether it be, the next game, next couple games, that whole season, or the sport following it and that. Jay's very protective as far as, and again, he understands. He's got his own 2 sons there. He knows how important this time is to kids and how precious it is. And every game, like I said, right now, a lot of these seniors, they're down to, we've got one more quarter and one more game, and their high school football careers are over. So, that's just how special it is. And, of course, you got the kid, oh, come on, I'm okay, and that. And you have to be so careful of that. And I think the biggest one that's come out in the last, 2-3 years has been the concussion protocol, that they're just running everybody through now. But, boy, you got to be so careful with these.
Could
head
be the
injuries.
death of high school football, too.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, and also, what about soccer, too? They
Yeah,
have enough
it's-
concussions in the sport of soccer.
Headers
also.
should be banned.
Yeah.
That's another topic.
Yep.
So again, Salas line up directly behind Reshevsky. 3 receivers to the right, as we've seen all night, either right or left. Option, boy. Salas gets on it.
Boy, he tried to actually still pick it up and run with it. That's
Way back to the
dangerous.
36-yard line. Going to lose. Going to lose 13 yards. Anything over second and 23, anything over 20 yards we call second down and a par 5.
Yep.
But that's the end of the third quarter from Lloyd Schneider Stadium here on Friday night, October 9th, 2015. It's McFarland 21, Palmyra-Eagle 14, 12 minutes to go in regulation.
Right. And John, there was only one score in that period because we were not at 14 all at halftime. Only score in the third quarter came at the 7:05 mark, a 16-yard fake field goal run by Nick Herbst. Then Nick completed it with kicking the extra point, his third of the evening, 3 for 3, to make your present score 21-14. And again, the question to be answered tonight was, will McFarland get their first victory of the 2015 season? And I called it. I said my prediction was not once McFarland wins, not twice McFarland wins, but 3 times McFarland wins. And we're going into the win column tonight on senior night 2015. With that, John, I'm going to shut up here for a second and turn it over to you. That's enough of that little stupidity. But just having, hey, John, we only got 15 more minutes here to have fun with these football telecasts. And then you're turning it over to my basketball telecasts. And I lose the golden voice here as you're going to be on the table this year.
You and Andrew Garvey.
We'll see what happens with the basketball. But please feel free to join us. Again, the website, YouTube, and then type in McFarland Cable, and you can view these games at any time.
This is going to make it 2nd and 28.
YouTube, McFarland Cable.
Now it's a par 5, Bill, for the first down.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the 31. They need to get to the Spartan 40.
Oof, that's driver.
29.
That's driver, 3-wood, probably 56-degree wedge. Okay? 2-putt par. Let's see how Palmyra-Eagle handles this.
So, again, a penalty before a second clicks off here in the fourth quarter. Quiet goes in motion again.
Uh-oh. They're going to get him again. Okay, John. Driver, 3-wood, 8-iron, 2-putt par.
Wow. This is like watching a wounded horse run here. This is bad. They're just going back.
Yep.
2nd down and 34.
Ouch.
Wow.
And I don't think they've got a play in their playbook that says that, unless this would be a screen pass if I were calling it. Because look at McFarland's going to try and pound it in there. Here they come.
Uh-oh. Oh, intercepted and dropped by Wilson. Well, watch the replay here.
Yeah, watch the replay. I'm going to say an incomplete, or I'm going to say
Thought
a
I saw the
dropped
ball hit the
interception.
ground.
Yep.
Had it, but I thought it came out.
Here it goes. Oh,
That
yeah.
ball's
that
clearly
came
on the
out.
ground.
Oh, yeah. He never had possession.
Someone in the
of
crowd in
that.
front of us yells, "That's a catch."
Yep.
Maybe in Australian rules football, but
Well,
not here tonight.
rose-colored glasses
That's right.
down there. Rose-colored glasses.
Sung by John Conley, a regular at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
Oh, we bring it all to you.
Here's Rashevsky looking. Big rush. Forced out of the pocket. Oh, there he goes.
And I'm going to say something right now. Just watching Rashevsky on that, I think he's playing on tired legs right now,
Oh, it's
John.
gotta be.
He just, he didn't, rather than he kind of broke the containment there, but he just didn't have any push with that. You could just see kind of a tired football player when you're going both ways and doing everything.
Well, it looks like the energy level here favoring the Spartans. The Panthers, again, some of these
Kinda running
boys
out
have
of
not
steam.
been off the field. Again, some from McFarland, too.
Right, yep.
Spartans maybe with a little more depth here tonight.
Yep.
11:10 to go.
Rosewski, what a talented athlete in that. But, there's, they would say, only so much in the tank.
And nice kick. Uh-oh, look
Careful.
out. Boy, that's dangerous. We'll use that word.
I'll let you use that word.
That was Chase Werwinski.
Yeah.
Covers it, though, at the 45, and that's where the Spartans will put it in play. Up 7, 10:54 to go here in regulation.
Right now, you kind of think that, hey, you don't need to really look to, like Chase was maybe doing there, to make a play. You just want to make sure you don't make a mistake right now, John. I think that's the key. No fumbles, no turnovers, no interceptions in that. Just play sound football, sound fundamental football. Let's see if they can put together about a 6-7 minute drive here and hopefully make this a 2-possession game.
Ooh, pitch back.
Ooh.
Big hit.
Whoa,
Big hit.
both guys got drilled.
Number 31, Austin Quiet.
Yep, as well as Tony Allis, 6 foot, 225-pound senior, just drilled B-dubs. Brady Wedvik, when he pitched this ball, both guys just got drilled, Alsmo and Wedvik.
Just we were talking about Panthers maybe losing a step here.
Wow.
Uh-oh, another big rush. Lovell was in there, and that ball's way underthrown. Wisely so.
Yep. Get rid
Now all
of
of a
it.
sudden it's 3rd and 10.
And very little time's run off this clock.
Very little. Incomplete pass here, and you're going to look at a possession less than a minute.
Right, John, I keep emphasizing it. We're still at a 1-possession game with Palmyra-Eagle. I'm saying if they score, they're rolling the dice, John. They're going to go 1 point up, 1 point down. That would be my guess at this point in the season.
Well, we got a player down, and this, no doubt, a cramp. He just went down well after the play.
Yep.
But we're not allowed to show injuries, so it's.
Yep.
When is that going to come, Bill? Was listening to a radio broadcast a few years ago, and a player for a Freeport team was injured, and sideline reporter says he's got a broken leg, and the parents had already left and headed home, and they needed to come back to the hospital, and kid plays the next week.
Yeah,
So,
interesting. Huh?
you never want to make any predictions on injuries or anything like that. And
I'm going to thank Mr. Chandler, Mike Chandler, Joe Shackett. We got the camera on.
that panoramic
Yep.
view,
Yep.
gotta like it.
It's
with
kind of like
those-
these elongated pictures now you can see of these stadiums that they have now, John. The
It's like an
posters
eclipse
and,
there. Don't stare at those light poles too long. Check
Oh.
that out. It's blinding.
John, bring me out of my trance. I feel hypnotized. I've been staring at the bright light
Pam
now.
Sam on the sideline
Yep,
there, far
Pam Sam,
left.
Yep. Soaring photography. For those of you, I put in a little pitch for Pam if you'd like to contact her. She makes some great pictures. I don't care what sporting event or what parade or anything else here. Pam Sam, Soaring Photography is the name of her company, and that go to it. She'll get you some great pictures, and you can order those through her. She just does some wonderful things for this community and that. So kudos to you, Pam Sam. Soaring Photography.
3rd down and 10 for the Spartans.
Uh-oh.
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 This is a major uh-oh. That's number 50, Bryce Gerlach.
And there we go.
Touchdown. He was that guy we were talking about, looks small next to his teammate, but he looks huge here.
Bryce Gerlach, 5'9", 171-pound junior.
And once again, the worst enemy for the Spartans is the Spartans.
Yep.
Well,
It
that
looked
ball
the
never
came.
Never even
up.
got back to Brady.
Nope. It was like the ball was hiked right.
I think we got to look at that one again. Did it hit a lineman's leg as it was snapped?
I think it almost hit him right in his own butt. And it never got
Now,
up
a decision for
for
Palmyra-Eagle.
Eagle that I've been calling for, but I guess
Oh,
with
they're
still
gonna have
10
to-
minutes left. With 10 minutes left, I'm going to tell you, John, if there were 2 minutes left on that clock, we'd see a 2-point conversion. But this kicker,
They don't have all their players out there.
No.
Again, a late entry.
Roshevsky's got a pretty good leg on him in that. So
Ball placed, kick on the way. It is good, and we're tied at 21 with 10-12 to go in regulation. So big play defensively as Bryce Gerlach picks that ball up and goes. I didn't even realize how many yards it
I think
was,
it was
Bill.
52, John.
Wow.
52-yard fumble recovery. Bryce Gerlach.
Just when you think the cupboard is full, somebody steals something from you.
Yeah, that's just, it's kind of been the story of the Spartan season, hasn't it, John? Turnovers, 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 and mistakes. And it's just, and I mean, the thing is, they're so costly, too, where they happen. Like, this is I can't say a pick six, but it's, pick the ball off the ground six. We've seen him fumble on the 1-yard line.
Yeah,
We've seen
rarely-
him fumble on the 4-yard line.
Rarely do you see a lineman cleanly scoop that ball
scoop
up
it
and
up.
be able to run, but
Right.
no doubt about it for Gerlach.
Yep.
We've been calling him Bryce Gerlach. The program says Bierce Gerlach, B-Y-R-C-E.
I think we're correct.
That
John.
program is sent out from Palmyra-Eagle, so if we're pronouncing it wrong, we apologize.
And you want to know what? It's kind of their English programs that's taken a little step back since I left, John. I would have made sure I would have double-checked spellings and everything else.
At least
in
the
this
font
program
is a
and
little
that.
bigger than that
Actually, John,
4 font last week we had from Jefferson.
if I created this list, it would have been typed with an old typewriter. And then I would have run it off on a mimeograph machine.
Well, plus
You
they have
remember the old turn?
Oh, yeah, you'd
mimeograph
smell those
machines?
when they were done.
Oh,
And
yeah, the old purple ink, right?
They've got last name, first name in their program, so Roshevsky pops this one up.
Careful.
Oh, and it's
Careful.
fumbled.
No.
And it's fumbled. It should be covered by the Spartans. Again, all you got to do is catch that ball.
We had
Looks
3
like
Spartans
Keeley
around
was
it.
on it.
Ryan McDonald, I think, finally fell on it.
Yep, McDonald.
Possessed it for McFarland.
So new life in the Panthers now as they tie this game at 21
John, I don't.
each.
And you want to know what? I think 982 is over their budget, so we're not allowed to do overtime tonight.
No,
so if we have to go off the air, you'll have
It's
to.
done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's
We're
Jensen
hoping for
the
no
back.
overtime. Time right now to
pass.
Good start.
Lewinsky.
good start. There we go. Nice
Tackled
play
by
call.
Carpenter. Going to be close to the first down, out at near the 43, 44-yard line. Mark it at the 43. So it's going to be a gain of 9, second down and 1. Good first
Yep.
play for the Spartans.
That was only the second throw to Werwinski for 21 yards. Got to get Jason more involved with this, I still think. Uh-oh, almost a fumble in that handoff. Boy, that was...
And credit Jensen, he
Yes.
able to drag forward close to the first down. Going to be short, but it's third down.
Yep. Christian Jensen, that's the first carry he's had in this second half, John.
A couple things I don't understand. You know, you get Spartans running out onto the field, and all of a sudden they come back. Maybe it's confusion on what down, or
Yeah.
who knows, but third down and short for the
No, they're
Spartans.
putting
This
in a
is
whole
big.
new system this year.
Hand off
Ball running.
McDonald. Oh, he
Oh,
breaks
pop
through into Panther territory down to the 44-yard line. And a first down, gain of 13 for Ryan McDonald.
John, on the season, Ryan McDonald, 129 yards on the season so far. Tonight, 12 rushes for 85 yards
Well, see,
tonight. Good
we
game
said
for-
somebody might get their
Yep.
season total tonight.
Yep, there goes Armac again.
Well, they feel like they've got an advantage as a gull swoops low over Lloyd Schneider Stadium. As I tell the kids at school, don't look up when they fly
Hold it.
over.
Would that been Jonathan Livingston?
It was a gull that came out of nowhere. I thought it was
Seagull.
going to fly into the press box
Yep.
here.
I believe J.S. Bach in the house probably released Jonathan Livingston here tonight. Little flyover. We've got the Snoopy blimp flying over. We've got the F-14s that did a flyover. Now we got Jonathan Livingston Seagull over the field.
Wilson. Yeah, they're going with that full house backfield.
Yep.
Kind of an inverted wishbone.
Yeah, they call it, I believe, the flex bone, John. Flex bone
I remember
options. I'm not
announcing down in Freeport, Pearl City, the Wolves ran that offense back in 1986.
Was
Another
it
trivia
86
question.
or was it
Worthless
87?
stats. Worthless,
Worthless stats. You and Dave Pilati.
stats. Here we go. McDonald. Ooh, going to be short.
Oh,
Hang on to that ball.
little extra kick in the step of Palmyra. Now they
Yeah.
kind of got their second wind. It almost looks like that was quite a game changer.
Going to be 4th and 1. Big play. We'll call it the play of the game right now because we're
Jumbo
tied.
backfield, John.
There's our line.
We're going to quick rush
Ebert.
up to the line. Jumbo, are we running it off? Ross Lewandowski.
We got Werwinski and Lewandowski.
Yep.
Perkle. Oh, we're going
Whoa.
to throw. Hey, look at this. Werwinski cuts it back inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
There you go. Lot of like that.
Ah, you got to love the play call there on a 4th
Yep.
down and short. They're in tight. You throw. Love it.
You got to like that because all night long, all they've done is just pound it off the left side of that line. Great play call there.
Well,
Boy, and I'll tell you, you're always got to be careful with that, though, because you need a good pass still, and the receiver's got to hold on to that ball. So kudos to B-Dubs, Brady Wedvik, for throwing a nice toss out there, leading Chase Werwinski.
just can't turn it over now. You got it.
Took into his hand.
First and
You're
goal
right, John.
inside the 10
Yep.
with 6.5 to go.
Let's not repeat what we've seen this year. Just
Stick
let's
with this
yep.
full house. Look at this. McDonald gets to about the 6. Call it a gain of 2. So second down and goal. 6:15 to go here in regulation.
Yep, Ryan McDonald, 90 yards on the evening. Yeah, just
Yeah, I don't believe we've had any ball carrier this year go over
no,
100.
no.
Keeley had some big runs.
Keeley's only got 200 yards on the whole season, so
Second
that's
down and
7
goal from the
games.
6 again.
Yep.
Full house backfield. Pitch to McDonald. Tries to get outside,
Stiff
dragged
arm.
down by Carpenter.
Yep, tried to stiff arm him, but couldn't do it. Carpenter too strong.
Now it's third down.
You know what I would have
Calling
thought,
for the
John?
pass.
I would have gone with that same little pass play there to Werwinski because they were bunched in. Now they're going to be looking for a rollout, I think.
And now you got to be careful if you throw that pass at an angle towards the sidelines.
Towards the sideline.
That a Panther doesn't step in and go 95 the other way. We're not going to see that twice.
John Wells is always the bearer of really good scenarios.
I believe
here,
Palmyra with 2 defensive touchdowns
Yes,
tonight.
they do, yeah.
Out of their 3.
Yep, you're right.
Single back now is Jensen. Wedvik cuts it up. Nice job by Brady
And
Wedvik.
What
Nice
a
run.
reward. What a great reward on that one. What a great decision to fake the pitch.
That was great.
Yeah, that is. That's kudos to Brady. That's excellent for him to.
That was big.
Yep. Boy, it's been a long season for him. I'm sure, when you quarterback an 07 team and that. And,
Look at that. Nice.
Yep. Got to just keep leadership skills in there, stay positive, and keep everybody working hard. And you do it by modeling it yourself. So nice job, Brady. He's matured a lot this year.
Good snap, ball down. Nice kick by Nick Herbst.
Boy,
Good.
and that was big right there.
28-21, 4:58 to go in regulation here from Lloyd Schneider Stadium. Now you just got to make sure you don't give up a big one on the kick. And we've been squibbing. Most of them are popping them up. So
Right.
more than likely that's not going to happen. And again, 3 touchdowns for the Panthers tonight. 1 by interception, 1 by
a
fumble return.
recovery. Yep. Yep. Well, John, very entertaining game tonight, huh?
As we
This has
said it
kind of
would
been
be.
fun. Yep, you got 2 teams that are at about equal par with each other. Both struggled with, Palmyra-Eagle obviously carved out an early season non-conference win against Milwaukee Bayview, but outside of that, both these teams been just struggling and been able to come up
Yeah, you
with
might think,
victories
geez,
in that.
Palmyra-Eagle playing Bayview, but
Yeah.
the problem in Milwaukee is, just not getting a youth program really consistently run.
Sure.
So you get these kids coming into high school, all of a sudden it's their first year of football.
Right.
And they're kind of all on an even playing field when they're playing against other MPS schools, but all of a sudden you get outside. The sad thing is, they'll get 4, 5, 6 playoff spots, and they'll go on the road to play Arrowhead. And one of those schools will go out there with 15 kids, play at Arrowhead with 115.
Yeah.
So,
On their
nice kick.
artificial field.
Straight ahead. Got some
Uh-oh.
running room. That's number 40, Noah Musselman. First time we've called
Yeah.
his name tonight, a 5'6", 145-pound sophomore. Takes it all the way out to the 44-yard line. So good field position for the Panthers with 4:51 to go here in the fourth quarter.
I got to believe, too, a fun game, too, for the Palmyra-Eagle crowd, the contingent that came up here. 3 bus loads. When
we
you
have
throw in
not
the team
had
and that.
And we have not had a holding call other than that
No, this
that
has been
holding against the Spartans early in the game.
It's been a pretty laundry-free evening tonight.
As the penalty
John.
marker
Well, yeah, you
flies.
knew that was going to happen.
I think
didn't
Brady
you, as soon as
Olson,
you-
I think, took off or came out late.
It was Simon Carpenter, number 10, that was trying to get off the field there. Number 10.
A lot of 5-yard walk-offs against Palmyra tonight.
Yep.
So first down and 15 for the Panthers. Reshevsky, the quarterback. Hand off to number 25. Wow, somehow.
Tony
Looked like he was
Ellis.
going to be stopped after a gain of a yard, but picks up 4, Tony Alice.
First carry of the evening, Tony Ellis.
6 foot, 225.
Yep, 7 carries for 25 yards. That's all he's carried it, but he has fumbled once in an earlier game.
There are some new faces out there from Palmyra-Eagle.
Yep.
Again, number 5 is now lined up at quarterback. So here you're on a big drive, and you've got a new quarterback, Hunter Griffiths. Oh, Carpenter. He'll get out to the 30-yard line. Going to be third down and 4. Tell you what, Bill, I think you're looking 4-down territory here.
Yep, and some, again, like you said, some new faces here for Palmyra-Eagle. Kind of an interesting philosophy. You know, maybe saying, why not?
Hunter Griffiths, the quarterback, just a sophomore.
Yep. And they got another game next week. We should probably talk about it. Next Friday, McFarland will travel to Parkview, correct, John?
In Orfordville, right on Highway 11 and 213.
Yep.
Going to be short of the first down. That's Carpenter.
And here comes potentially the play of the game, John.
Got to go for it.
Yep. Yep.
Might take a timeout, and they do. I'm not going to say this is the game, but this is the play of the game right now.
Right, because you still got, I can't see how many more timeouts.
Looks like 2 on the board.
1 for the Spartans and 2 for Palmyra-Eagle. So even if they go for it and they fail, they can still stop the clock 2 more times than that. So it won't necessarily mean they can just, McFarland is not going into the victory setup yet. But whatever, John. I mean, this, again, I got to just say thank you again to Cable 982 and its entire staff for a wonderful football season here. The graphics, Eric Redding and his staff, Andrew Day, Justin Janis, Ryan Denzer, and tonight Ben Beck's on the staff helping out, as well as some other student helpers from the high school and that. Just a wonderful season, John. We've just had a lot of fun, and I can't tell you how much fun that I'm glad to see that you're getting back to a little better health than that, and we all wish you the best. And
well, thank you. It's
kind of I made it back from Hawaii. I decided to come back, and
I think I've been calling the wrong line of scrimmage here. The ball's actually the 48 of the Spartans.
4th and 2.
Carpenter got the first down, not by much.
Who knows? The way these guys have been spotting the ball tonight, John.
Now he's already signaling first down. So the ball, again, I was calling the wrong line of scrimmage here. The ball's actually in Spartan territory at the 46.
Yep. And this game is 1 play away from being tied. Spartans
3
have
minutes
to
though.
Stay focused.
Rashevsky back in, but the clock is rolling.
Yep.
You're at 2:55 here.
Don't seem
You're
to be
taking
in
a
rush,
heck of a
do
lot
they?
of time. My goodness.
Yeah, what's up? They look like just. And now the two
my.
guys running in and off the field run into each other.
Unbelievable.
This has got to be too much. They're not going to get it off in time, are they?
You're down a touchdown. You're going to get a delay of game here.
Yeah. And they just got it.
Oh, my. And again, there's a reason why teams are in this situation here.
Right.
My goodness. You're down a touchdown. You got players coming in and out. Your quarterback is looking to get a call. And now it's 1st and 15. Whether that makes a difference or not, who knows? Just something you don't expect to see.
Nope.
1st and 15. Pitch back to Salas. Nice job defensively. Ryan McDonald and others are there to push him out of bounds. Will that stop the clock? 2:27 on the clock.
You know, I got to tell you, John, just looking at Palmyra-Eagle here, like you said, 2 of their 3 touchdowns have been on the defensive end. They really have not done much offensively tonight. You know, if I look at their stats and that, yep. And give kudos to the Spartan defense.
For sure.
They have just been matter of fact, with William Salas, their leading rusher for Palmyra-Eagle, they've actually held him. He's got negative 21 yards in the second half here. Smothering defense by the Spartans.
2nd and 15. Rashevsky. Oh, got a receiver. That's Carpenter. And Carpenter inside the 40, down near the 36-yard line. Going to be very close to the first down.
And let's see what kind of hurry up they're in here. Let's see if this.
3rd and short. We near the 2-minute mark.
Yep.
No sense of urgency out there for the Panthers.
They're kind of taking their time. Well, they got to get the first down here, John. That's first order of business. He's going to have to just dump
Big
it.
rush. Got to dump it. Clock will stop. 1:45.
Yep. Smart.
Now it's
decision.
4th down, so you've got to get the first down at the least, or you give the ball back to the Spartans, and the game we would assume would be over.
Well, I don't know. Palmyra-Eagle still has 2 timeouts, John.
And Bill will crack open the sparkling ice lemonade that he has not drank from tonight.
Nope, just looked at it, John.
Probably room temperatured out, to safely say. So 4th down and a long yard for
a
the Panthers.
stat man never rests, John. I'm just too busy. I don't have a chance for any refreshment or anything.
Play of the game right here for the Panthers. Rashevsky got a receiver complete. I believe that's Olsen.
Still have a ball game, John. $1:40 to go.
Olsen's inside the 30 to the 28. That'll move the sticks. 1:40 to go. A lot of time on the clock.
Yep.
And, Bill, we all know if Palmyra-Eagle scores, they're going to go for 2.
Without a doubt, John.
You have traveled so far.
Yep.
You might as well go for the
And
win.
your kids would like that. Your fans would like that. We would like it as broadcasters.
Looking, going to air it out. Incomplete.
Overshot. Calvin Butenhoff.
Probably pronouncing it wrong. I got to think the Butenhoffs in Monroe, although they do have 2 Fs. I want to say they had 2 T's, though, so maybe it's not. It was Harrison Butenhoff, I believe. Boots was the nickname. Yeah, I think he ran. I think it was like a gun shop right across from the junior high.
Okay, we're back to the gun shop brewery in the school
brewery.
story.
If you've been to the Monroe Junior High, which is middle school now, still there, built in the late 30s. You know what I'm talking about. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Single back behind Rashevsky, as it has been all night, is Salas. 2nd down and 10. Big rush. Down he goes.
Boy, talk about total confusion. And I was
Christian
looking
Jensen was in there.
Yep. I mean, and I can tell you, all 4 receivers that were out were just draped.
That was number 8, Hunter Patchen.
Yep, Hunter's got a lot of minutes in here tonight. I've been noticing him putting
Loss of 6. Let's take a look.
A lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah, Cade Werwinski's in there.
Hunter Patchen, 2 sophomores getting a lot of playing time here.
3rd down and 16 for the Panthers. Looking. Going to air it out. Jump ball situation. Oh, did he get it? He did.
Did he catch that? He did.
Is that Olsen? Or is it Carpenter?
That
it is
Olsen. 6 foot.
Oh, my.
Brady
Inside
Olsen.
the 5-yard line. Looks like it's at the 2 or the 3-yard
we have
line.
36 seconds left, John. And
Ooh, we've got
Palmyra
a game.
has 2 timeouts left.
And they'll go for 2 if they score. Somebody wants a timeout. Might be the Spartans. It is. And should be their final timeout. Palmyra-Eagle doesn't mind because gives them a timeout, too, that they did not have to use. Wow.
We have a white knuckler, as they call it.
And I got to believe they're going to go for...
I can't see why they wouldn't, John. Rather than extend...
Of course, they got to score first.
Yes, they do.
We know that. So.
Yes, they do.
Wow, this is a great ball game
John,
here.
This
Friday.
has just been wonderful. Again, I just want to thank so much. This has been wonderful having you by my side here again. We have so much fun doing this. Again, a shout out to Cable 982 for a wonderful job. Eric Redding and his entire staff. Again, go to YouTube, McFarland Cable, whenever you want to see the replays of these games or anything. That'd be wonderful. A big shout out, and again, thank you to our wives, John, Diane and Cindy, for allowing us to be able to do these games.
To get us out of the house.
Oh, and thank you to all you viewers at home. Keep your wonderful comments going. But please, the most important thing is come out and support our community, our youth here, no matter what the sport, no matter what time of the year. Get out and support these kids, and when you see them around, tell them how much you appreciate their efforts.
1st and goal from the 3. High snap. Salas. Oh, he's going to get in. Touchdown.
Oh, and I thought we had him in the
backfield. Salas. Now the question is, Do you go for two? Do you run the same play?
Gotta go for two.
Both
Pounding his
teams-
fists into the ground. Christian Jensen
Yeah,
was
they're gonna
in the
take a
backfield.
timeout.
Oh, they got to take a timeout here.
Look at that. Oh, Christian just missed him.
Just missed him. Pounding the ground just in frustration.
There's the scoreboard, 28-27, 24 seconds in regulation.
John, what a
Oh,
fitting
boy.
end for two teams sitting in last place in their respective conferences. Crossover game. This is what it should be for both these teams, to have this kind of excitement, be in a competitive game like this. This is just this is wonderful. This is
Well,
Friday
again-
Night Lights
Again,
personified.
pairing up teams from the north and south based
Yep.
on their finish. You're seeing a very even game
Very
tonight.
even game. Yep.
Not sure who. Yeah, I believe Palmyra-Eagle next week will host Whitewater, and the Spartans will go to Parkview.
Right.
So somebody with a legitimate chance of finishing out their season with a pair of
two
wins.
wins. Yep.
Well, here we go. It all comes down to this. Are they going to kick? Are they going to go for two? I got to believe they're going to go for two. They're going to go for the win.
Going for two, just as we called it.
Here we go, Rashevsky.
Sports fans, if you want to get out of your chair at home and stand up, feel free to. Oh!
Snap. Oh, no. We got it.
And
oh,
a bad
boy.
snap.
I could see that one getting tipped into the end zone, but it doesn't.
And you know what it was? It was a Wildcat. It was a direct snap to Salas.
Oh, boy.
And the game is going to end on. Oh, no, it wasn't either.
No, just a
was
bad
Rashevsky,
snap.
yeah.
And then the ball hit Salas's helmet.
Oh, and I thought it was going to bounce in the end zone
I did
or
too.
something.
I did
and
too.
thought we're going to lose it on that.
Well, you can expect an onside kick here for certain. You better be ready to cover this one.
Yep. I think.
Oh, boy.
As the great Swami, the big K Cather, I called it at the beginning. I said, McFarland wins, McFarland wins, McFarland wins. On senior night 2015, 24 seconds, 24 ticks away from victory. And what a sweet taste that'll be for what has been a very long season up to this
You
day.
just
But
gotta
also
cover.
giving some added confidence here to a lot of the younger ball players here tonight. We've seen the progression of Brady Wedvig, B-Dubs at quarterback, making some better decisions, getting a touchdown himself on a nice decision.
You don't want to line up too tight here because
No.
they could pop it over
You're right.
and outrun you for the ball.
Absolutely. You got to stay spread here. I mean, these are the things that hopefully you have practiced, John. Hoover, what do they do if they pooch it a little bit up over the top, too?
Yeah, it's a lot of possibilities here. There it is. And it's fumbled.
Whoa.
I think we got on it. We did.
Yep. Game over.
You can breathe
Get in
a little
victory
easier.
formation. They have 2 timeouts, so we'll go one knee to 20, next knee to 16, and then a victory celebration and run. Oh, boy.
Boy, you don't know how close that one was
That
until you saw
was
that
real
replay.
close.
My. 28, 27, 21 seconds to go. Spartans with the ball.
Yep.
Palmyra, it still shows them with 2 timeouts. They
Right.
did call one on that
Yeah, they
extra
did.
point.
So there should be only one
So
left.
I'm
up
guessing
there.
it's one.
I believe you are correct, John. No. McFarland called that timeout deep down there. Remember? When they were down on the 2-yard
I
line.
don't think it was on the extra point, though, they called a timeout.
Oh, you're right, John. Yep. My bad.
A knee.
I called
They may
it.
not have any timeouts left. They don't.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the Spartans are going to pick up their first win of the season.
Yep.
They will go to 1-7. Next week they'll go to Parkview in Orfordville, try to close out the season with a pair of wins. But again, somebody had to lose tonight. It came down to the 2-point conversion. The Spartans get the stop to win 28-27. Bill, take us home from here.
Yep, and the interesting thing is now Palmyra-Eagle, 1 victory on the season. McFarland got a victory on the season. So nobody is shut out in the Rock Valley Conference this year, and that's great for both communities here, John. So, again, we're going to put a quick wrap on this. I'm going to say in closing again, I feel very honored and thankful to be able to bring into your living room this year the efforts along with of McFarland Youth, along with the help of Cable 982, the golden voice of McFarland Athletics, Mr. John Wells. So I want to thank all those people. So be sure to support these kids also when you see them in a very positive manner. Because, again, the youth here, they are McFarland, and you are McFarland Nation, and we are proud of McFarland, Wisconsin, USA. So in signing off, I will sincerely say again, stay positive, stay healthy, God bless, and see you in a month and a half for McFarland Boys and Girls Hoops. So long.